Welcome, welcome. We're back now with another Lucius Live. This is the last one planned of the year. For those of you who are wondering, now me and Luke, we talked a little bit before the show, and I told him there's a slim chance I might be inebriated enough New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, or something. I might be crazy enough to start up another one. I have a feeling other people might be too. It's kind of nuts. I'm seeing more than I did last year. Last year was kind of doldrums in the holiday times. This year, major players keep showing up. It's all right. I don't, we thank you for watching Lucius Live. And I don't know. I feel like I should rebrand it like Lucius and Luke Live. You've been so regular, man.
No,
You're like
this is your channel. You organize it. I think you should be the center of the show.
right.
I've got my own channel with
And
more
yes,
followers. So
Fresher Luke had a show last Friday.
yeah,
Fridays with Fresher that I was on. I don't know. I kind of want to go back and revisit it. I like knowing, like rating myself. With some time separation, re-listen back through, see was I on point? Did I stick to topic? Did I go off? Did I repeat myself?
It's Fridays with Fresher. It doesn't matter. There is no judgment there.
Oh man, it matters to me. I'm trying to rise in this world, Luke. I'm trying to take over.
But it's a long road and it's a hard road.
It is.
I've been doing it for a while and I'm still only at like 432 followers. I don't know how guys like Narwhal does it. I think part of it is you got to have a camera on yourself, but as you know, you and me, we can't really do that. So
I could. I just don't. I really think as much as the audience thinks they want it, you don't want it. You don't want it.
Well, I mean, they want something interesting to look at. So maybe the compromise is VTuber avatars.
Oh, we should do that. We should look into doing that.
I was at some point, but then I got busy. So
I think we should try that. That would be fun. That could be fun.
What would yours be?
It could be a hilarious wreck, huh?
What would yours be? Because I already know what my VTuber avatar would be.
I mean, I haven't really looked into it. When you mentioned it, I was kind of like lost, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, those are kind of cool." My number one worry is that like somehow the system fucks up and I get displayed on screen. I saw there was some like Japanese kid. This was years ago.
That was
doing
fake.
That was fake. It okay?
Yeah.
It made news, and I was like,
depending on what you use, usually it's just tracking your face. It's not actually tracking your image or portraying your image.
I would totally like do that sort of a thing, but I'd want to make my own. I just don't know if I'm capable of doing that. So then it would be like, okay, if I can't, I have to find the one that I think suits me. I haven't looked through what's like ready to go, free use.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with something that's ready to go. I think it's best to make your own custom one.
Oh, okay. Is that hard? Like, would you say that's hard?
Not really. Like if you got Photoshop and you can just create the different layers, like eye layer, mouth layer, and then just go from there. Like there's lots of stuff online. I've been meaning to look into it, but at the same time, it's like I feel like the minute I do it, like fucking all the toxic motherfucking Steven Universe dickheads are gonna come out of the woodwork and start.
I feel like the obvious choice. Again. Yeah, the obvious choice for you is your icon there.
Yeah,
Throw
obviously.
that in there. Yeah, I think so.
Well, maybe a fish.
Okay. Whatever you want to do, Luke. Whatever you think represents you. Your inner spirit animal. I always kind of dig skull and bones and shit.
Well, the thing that is inside me, that I feel inside me, is my skeleton. It's just trying.
That's true. That's true. Now, did you ever take a look at Matrix? I told you about it and everything.
No, I never did. No, I never did. No.
All right. I still have yet to see the new Spider-Man movie. Everyone tells me it's dope. It's kind of funny. Looking through like people's Twitter reviews, everyone was kind of saying 9 out of 10. Like
nostalgia is a strong thing.
Well, I just found it funny. It's like, it's like you want to go that far, but it was like it's still missing. It's still missing something. I don't know. It's funny when people go 9 out of 10. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not.
Well, my girl wants to see it, and I'm kind of curious about it. I haven't really been in the movie theater this whole year, man.
Hmm.
I've just stuck to the HBO Max releases, which are Warner Brothers movies. So that's kind of where I've sort of kept up to date on that sort of stuff. I
Okay.
did. I watched on Netflix. There's a show or a movie
Ooh.
they produced called Don't Look Up. Have you heard about this?
I've heard about this with Leonardo DiCaprio,
With Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep. I mean,
Meryl
dude,
Streep. Yeah.
this is like a cast. You're just like, what? Damn! Like the names that they roll off, I'm just like, holy shit! Like this was not, like cheap in any sense. Um, did you ever see Idiocracy?
I did.
I would put it on that level. I don't know how you felt about Idiocracy. I heard people talk about it for years, like, oh, it's so funny, it's so great, you should watch it. I go to watch it, and it confirmed everything I thought about it. Like, I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, I can't even find it funny. It's so stupid. I think my favorite character on that was the Terry Crews. I think it's Terry Crews, president. Uh, in the whole thing because he's like a pro wrestler. I'm like, okay, I can see where like a pro wrestler personality might actually fit the bill for like like it's dumb, but it's plausible dumb. Um, there are movies I find that are like completely stupid, inane, stupid, but funny at the
Whoa.
same time. Like Anchorman was one of those movies. I went into that expecting not to like it, and I ended
Yeah.
up liking it more.
Mm.
Same with Talladega Nights. Like I'm just like, oh, this looks so fucking stupid on the face of it. Like I'm gonna hate it, but I ended up loving it because it was so beyond the pale stupid that I actually thought it was hilarious. And this is just one of those movies where it's like they're trying to mock people, but they're doing it in such a like a hard-handed way to
Mm.
do it. Like it's just like it doesn't really
A
work.
heavy-handed way, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
wait. So is it about how an asteroid is heading towards Earth, and so
Comet is heading towards Earth, and it's going to collide. They make plans to deter it, and it's more like, okay, you've just been broached with like apocalyptic news and people brushing it off like but I have bigger things over here, and it's like, what are you talking about? We all die if we don't do anything.
mm,
And that's like the mid part of the movie is them trying to reach out, find a solution, and all that. I think it's the worst part of it. I like the beginning, I like the end. Leo DiCaprio is probably the best character throughout the whole thing because he has like an arc and everything. uh there are some parts about Jennifer Lawrence's character that are funny, but it's kind of at her expense in a way, or at the character's expense.
mm.
But otherwise, I was just like, oh my god, this is like fucking tedious to watch. Like, there's no fucking way this would be like. It's like it couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Like it was trying to be serious, but at the same time, um, sarcastic.
I'm just thinking
And it
maybe
just
they're
didn't hit it
trying.
right.
I think they're trying to prepare us for something.
Maybe I don't know. I in the end, it was, I kind of enjoyed it, but dude, there was like the whole mid part of the movie, I was ready to just hit the eject button. Like if I wasn't watching with my girlfriend and she didn't want to keep watching it, like I probably would have stopped it. But I think uh, Leonardo DiCaprio is probably like the saving grace of the whole thing. But he's also kind of like the main like spoke on the wheel, like as far as like running the whole plot forward. But
Mm.
that's kind of the only thing I've really watched I guess you'd consider mainstream. I'm kind of, I think most Netflix productions are kind of crap, and they've missed the mark more than they've hit the mark. This is kind of so on
Mm.
it. And it's also weird because like they have like Ariana Grande in there, and she is Ariana Grande, but she's not Ariana Grande. Like she's herself. She's a pop star, but they give her like a fake name,
Oh.
and she has like some DJ rapper boyfriend that's part of the plot. That like her relationship with this guy that is just like no one would give a shit really. No one
Mm.
over the age of 13 would give a shit.
Mm.
and like they make it like it's so newsworthy and clickbait worthy or whatever that it overshadows, like it's part of this midpoint plot of like, okay, you all know now that the comet's going to hit Earth, like this will end human life as we know it, the Earth as we know it. Maybe we shouldn't give a shit about this pop star and their relationship, but it's like it all gets eclipsed in the middle of this film. It's just like there's another reason why, like finding a solution gets shelved, kind of thing. Like this is how crazy the world is. This is how crazy modern politics and social media is. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure the moment people knew, like, holy shit, something's heading to Earth. Like it's supposed to, I think, make fun of sort of anti-vaxxers at this point and everything. Like the science is there, the math is there. People don't believe it. Like the whole title of the movie, "Don't Look Up," is part of the campaign of the current president, where it's just like, don't look up. We got this. Like, don't focus on the comet. We have a solution. And then there's like this whole campaign of like, no, look up, and you can see the comet. It's right there. It's heading for us. There's no more. It's so fucking on the face stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I'm pretty sure we'd all believe if we knew like an asteroid was heading here, we'd be like, can we nuke that thing like into the sun? You know, like it'd be like
I'm pretty sure Elon would probably come up with something pretty ingenious.
I mean, it's kind of crazy when you look into like every solution you could possibly come up with. It's actually extremely hard.
No,
like
it's not
for these. Well, like the whole nuking it. It's like the problem with nuking something out in space is that a nuclear bomb works when there's gravity. There's all these forces kind of like working on it that has an effect, whereas like out in space it just dissipates into nothing. Like it doesn't really do that much.
No, well, the thing is, like, what was the Michael Bay film with the oil riggers who became astronauts?
Was that Armageddon?
I think it was Armageddon, where they were like, oh, well, you know, we'll train a bunch of oil riggers to become astronauts rather than train astronauts how to drill. We'll fly them up and they'll drill into the asteroid and they'll put a nuke in it and it'll explode and that'll save everything, when in fact scientifically the theory is unsound. It'll break it up and those pieces will create more of destruction over a larger area of the Earth.
It could, yeah. I mean,
which is absolutely dumb. So what you have to do is you need nukes, but you don't use them in a destructive sense. Use them as a propulsive sense. So if an asteroid or a comet is on a particular trajectory, you strategically place nukes on its surface in certain areas to sort of take it off that trajectory. You know what I mean? You like kind of like nudge it in a different direction. Because I mean, we don't really have, like, blowing up a nuke is not a good idea. Blowing up an asteroid is not a good idea ever. That is never a good idea. I mean, we already have trouble with like space trash up in space, like fucking up shit. It's like you don't want like rocks and shit fucking up shit, dude.
There was actually a really interesting movie a couple of years ago. I feel it was on Discovery. It's like one of the end of the world ones, like scenarios that could happen. And it was like if a comet hit the moon. So it didn't hit Earth directly. There wasn't direct impact, but it fucked up the moon, which fucks up the tides. And at the same time, they basically made this a comet of like almost pure water. Like it's just ice, right?
Yeah.
And it falls in small chunks at first, and it basically is like a never-ending rain on Earth. Like it falls into the atmosphere and it just keeps raining. So like literally floods the Earth, and they go into like these scenario. Like I actually really digged it as far as like a production. Like it was like people like, whoa, you know, like our town's flooded. Let's like do all these water sports and shit we never do otherwise. And like, people digging it. I'm like, yeah, that would happen. That would totally happen. I could see that happening and all this shit. And it's like, yeah, at first there would be stuff like that, but then there'd be like it would flood the low parts and then raise on up, and suddenly like people losing their houses. So, like all these complications that come out of it. And they set up Madrid as like one of the like safe havens, and they made this giant dam that surrounded the city. Like it was like the global effort to save humanity was to build this dam around a city. And it had to work like nonstop. It needed nonstop upkeep to basically keep the water out. And they're like, yeah, it would work until like a big enough chunk of this ice from the atmosphere fell in and then just made a giant tidal wave that would just consume the city. And like their long-term solution was like a really broad, wide, and like kind of had a pendulum in the middle, like ocean ship. So it sort of balanced itself out, like if it hit a wave or whatever, like that. And that's probably the best bet. Like it was kind of interesting in that it was just like, yeah, all of humanity would be buried, like everything you knew would be gone. It would take decades for it to like fully be realized, and we're never really out of the thick of it. I thought it was like an interesting apocalyptic scenario, and basically the world turns into an ocean just from the flood of waters.
Well,
I feel like it was Discovery.
I feel like there's the problem with Discovery is like they've always had like really stupid takes on things that aren't accurate.
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
There was that full stock. Was it Discovery or the History Channel that did that stupid ass?
History Channel has a no like the whole like ancient aliens and all that.
No, there was one where they did like a really bad like mockumentary, but they passed it off as a legit documentary about mermaids and the discovery of mermaid skeletons.
I have no idea.
But it's like, you know, when I first saw it, when I was came to the US and I first saw it, I was like, no, they didn't really do that. They didn't really make this and try and pass it off as legit, did they? Because like I could like tell like this is dumb. Like I could tell that the you know when they do those interviews and they look at the camera and talk, I was like, these are fucking actors. These are actors. Like everything about it just screamed fake, right? But I was like, wait a minute, this is America. People almost believe anything that's being put in front of them. Most people in America. And then later on they came out about it. Like I'm sure you could probably find it if you look it up. Like mermaid mockumentary or something, History Channel maybe.
My interest in looking that up is pretty close to zero.
Yeah.
Even my interest in looking up the own thing that I think is cool. Like it's like you know.
But I mean, like to say that like an ice comet, right, that impacts the moon is going to somehow magically flood the Earth is dumb.
So it's kind of
really
like
dumb. That is probably
there.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
All the debris of the comet's there, and it's like it starts with the small particles falling first, and then the heavier things get drawn in, and that's how it goes. I just thought it was interesting because usually it's just impact, Earth is dead, you know, kind of thing, and just like how that would all go down if it hit the ocean, if it hit the land mass, blah 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 blah.
If there was a massive asteroid coming towards us, and you know we managed to identify it within time, I think you know it'd be one of those rare occasions where everyone would be like, you know, we got to put all our bullshit to the side, and we're going to figure out how to sort this out. Otherwise, we're all fucked.
Yeah, you'd like to think.
Look, you know, it was back in the 80s when there was a hole in the ozone layer, and all the countries came together and they made up a resolution to get rid of CFCs, and it worked. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't sell humanity short just yet.
That's just when I'm glad that happened, but I mean the oversell on like what was going on was just like through the roof when it came to that stuff. But I can't say that they couldn't be wrong either. You know, just like all the fucking nuclear tests they did out in you know the Southwest in the United States. Like you hear about these stories of like entire towns and like people who are just like miles away, but like they got all the radiation like fallout from those tests, and even like John Wayne, like all the Westerns were shot like in that same area where those nuclear test sites were. And like you hear about like not only John Wayne died of cancer, but a lot of like the production crews on those Westerns like had these health issues that kind of just like, you know, if you plotted them out and you had the correlation on it, it's like, yeah, they were higher than normal, and it was across the board, and even the people that lived in those areas. And it's just like, yeah everyone told you it was safe. You're safe distance. Don't worry about it. And like there's stories of people that would like set up like lawn chairs and like watch the mushroom cloud at a distance or look for anything of it. It's just like this is poisonous shit. Like, this is not,
I mean, I guess they didn't really have a thorough understanding of radiation and stuff like that.
Not really, no. I mean, even up to the first like nuclear test, they were talking about like the entire like atmosphere going on. Like there was like we might end the Earth with this. Like it's just different projections and what they thought nuclear reactions would do. It's easy to like mock it in reverse, but like if you're in that moment, it's like we don't know what the fuck we don't know what we're doing, man. Like
we got the power of the sun in our hands.
Right.
Like, we don't know what we're doing. Just light it up, see what happens. All right, cool. I mean, human history is full of shit like that. Like, could potentially kill us all. Yeah, just try it out. Let's see what happens. All right, cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. It's almost like inverse relationship on the Don't Look Up. So it's comet heading the Earth. It's like, and they say 5 kilometers to 10 kilometers. It's basically death of the Earth size. And they're like trying to make it look like there's a bunch of people just who will never acknowledge the facts, like even when they're staring right at it. That's like the whole point of like that Don't Look Up part. And it's like I kind of feel like this is something that was written and done in the era of COVID, and it's just like it's almost complete opposite, where it's like there's a 99.9% chance you'll live through it, and everyone's trying to tell you like the sky is falling, and it's just like, well, it's not just showing up on the facts here, man. Like it doesn't add up. I'm not saying no one should take any precautions, no measures should be taken.
If that's the case, though, then obviously this film was made as a response to anti-vaxxers, right?
I kind of feel like that's what they're doing, but they're not. It's like an indirect way.
But I mean, even then, it's like already this film is like becoming dated because we're coming out of this thing, right? And it's
hopefully
everything they've said has turned out to be untrue, and everything they've denied is said to be true.
I'm telling you,
that's the thing. Like they've always been sitting there saying we're on the right side of history. You should listen to us, but it's all just bullshit. I've never gotten vaxxed. I haven't worn a mask for this whole fucking year. I'm fine. And maybe maybe that's the knock on wood moment where I'm actually do get infected and fucking die. But look, it's like you gotta understand this. Like I'm someone who's been on the outside of America looking in, right? And I gotta say, you're all crazy. You're all fucking nuts.
Well, how about Australia right now, man?
Well, sure, you can say that now, but being someone who's been on the outside of America looking in, like just seeing the way I apologize for this, Lucius, because I say this with a caveat, because I've met great guys like you and Owl and stuff like that, who are like cool people. You're not crazy, but the vast majority of Americans are fucking crazy as fuck, paranoid, delusional.
Well, did you see the chick on the airplane?
Yes.
That assaulted the old guy.
And like, completely irrational. Like,
yeah, my girlfriend's
germaphobes. Like, there is a long list of things that Americans suffer from mentally.
Dude, she even had her own mask down, like bitching at this guy. And it's like,
well, that's the thing.
Hello. Like, if you're gonna stand on that ivory tower looking down, you might as well be like on at least your own side of the argument. Like, nothing you're doing adds up here right now.
But this is all on purpose. Like, America is like, I feel like America is like a fucking playground for fucking con men and shysters, right? Because most of the fucking
right now it is, yeah.
No, I'm saying it's always been that way.
Maybe. Right. I definitely feel like this is a managed decline that's happening right now.
Well,
like,
I mean, if you think about it, everything in America has a knock-on effect with all the other things, right? Like, they generally underfund the education system because they want the populace smart enough to operate the machines, but not too dumb where they can't operate the machines, right?
Shizzy. Check it out now.
Hey, shit.
Hello.
What up, man? How you doing?
Good. Nothing. I'm not doing anything.
We missed you last week. How was your holidays, man? Let me ask you real quick. How was your holidays?
It was fine. The house was loud, and everybody's sick now. Well, I'm not sick.
Omicron? Is it Omicron? Did you get tested? Did you wait in those lines?
No.
You get tested?
You're waiting those lines of infected
Dude, that's the
people
fucking
and then get
nuttiest-
tested.
You want to talk about the craziest thing? Like even Cecil was like, dude, these people are standing outside in the cold for 4 fucking hours to find out if they're okay, even though they feel okay. It's like, are you like, and not to mention all like the symptoms. Just like, buy yourself some NyQuil, like sleep it off, man. Like this isn't really like end of the world thing.
I just sweated it out like a motherfucker.
There you go. That's the way you do it.
Yeah.
I woke up at like 2-3 in the morning on the second or third night, and it was like I was drenched from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
And now
did you weigh yourself? Did you at least get yourself like? No, you should have done that. You know, you probably dropped like 2-3 pounds. Could have had at least like an ego boost out of the whole thing. You know,
I never check my weight.
I wouldn't check if you don't check your weight ever. You don't want to check it after you just sweat off a bunch of water weight.
Yeah.
And then go back to it later, man.
Yeah.
But you met up with those guys, Preston and
yes, I met them. Yes, him and Anthony. And
Anthony, yeah, Figaro.
Mm-hmm.
How was that, man?
Say again.
How was that? How'd that go?
It was cool. We went to a the ritzy side of New Orleans, but since it's so dark, everything's like buried in neighborhoods, and we just went to a mom and pop's bar and grill area. I got a big ass petite. You can call it a petite. It wasn't a filet mignon. It wasn't a. It was a petite.
Did you have gumbo?
Yeah. Did you have
no,
any
Heather had gumbo. I didn't have. I used to live in New Orleans, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I was gonna say, man, if you're in there, man, I'd be like Cajun food.
Yeah, dude. New Orleans has like some of the best food in America.
Yeah, I had a big ass steak and a potato.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
I took Heather through Baton Rouge, which is totally worse than I remember it. It is hell on earth.
What's the deal with Baton Rouge? Like
everything all the businesses are done. They're gone, but all the buildings are there. And then right across the bridge is the port with all the oil refineries. And then there's a lot of manufacturing there and a giant casino. It was really fucking eerie. I'll tell you what. So
was it a ghost city?
Yes, with a bunch of black people just sitting in front of all the broke down buildings.
Wow.
Everywhere.
That's terrible.
Heather took some pretty cool black and white photos. But New Orleans, like the nice part of New Orleans is still the same. But we didn't see it during the daytime. Only saw it. Excuse me. Only saw it at night.
Shit.
So.
Did you get anything cool for Christmas?
No. Well, yes, no? I got myself this book, Militarism and the Indo-Europeanizing of Europe. And
I was expecting like a real life skull to be in your collection at this point.
That would be awesome. Oh, I did get these fucking bad boys. I ended up getting He-Man.
Oh, the tiny micro thingies.
And then,
the micro penises.
Tiny, the lion cat. Oh man, it's so great. The fact
Battle
that
cat.
It's so small. Yeah, Battle Cat, whatever.
Oh my god.
But I can't find Tila. The last one is Tila. It's not on Amazon, and they've been out of the 2 Targets we were at. But what's really cool is there's a case. This is a case with like a lever on the back so you can open it, and down here in the bottom is where their weapons are with the instructions.
This sounds like the worst thing in the world.
I'll just put these in boxes for about 10 years and I'll sell them on eBay.
For how much?
I don't know, like $40 a piece probably. So maybe like 120, 160 for the set, maybe.
Better off getting Bitcoin, bro.
Get him signed, dude. Get him signed by somebody who's somebody in marketing.
I get this signed by Dan. I get him. Well,
voice actors.
But I mean, like, could you just get anyone to sign it? Like, I don't know, like.
I would get Dan.
You could, yes, you could.
Like I don't know, Joe Rogan could sign it. For some reason.
I think.
Or does it have to be relative to the?
I forgot. I did get a CG book.
I think J Money should sign himself, and then he should sell him sell himself as like one of the creators.
Oh,
That'd be great.
Look, it's that book that I've done some work for.
Nice chrome.
Yeah, and then I got the regular ones.
Looking dashy.
I told him to send me a book that I can show Idris that he wouldn't sell to a customer. And it's like perfect condition. I'm like, I can't give that to Idris.
You should get that first book and bring it up close. Put the credits close up to the screen.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. Hold on.
You know the book I'm talking about.
Now, I'm thinking J Money.
Box. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
J Money, you should sign your own He-Man boxes there, and sell them up like they're signed figures or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that one right there. Put it up right up. If it could even focus. There we go. Look at that name right there. Look at that. Yeah.
You're on the red one, not on the blue one.
Yeah, nice. I'm on the red one.
Oh, so you didn't? Did you work on the second one?
No, I only did one like mini story in the first one.
I haven't opened them yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess we don't want
to review. I'll open the non holofoil cover.
Oh, okay.
Now, J Money, while I say that, and it's kind of joking, there is this really funny episode in the first season of what was Donald Trump's thing? His reality TV show?
The Apprentice?
The Apprentice, yes. And it's like the Southern dude and this black dude, and they're like at this gift shop, and they're like, how do we sell merchandise? And they just sell the black dude as like a collegiate NBA hopeful star. They're like, get a basketball signed by Kwame so-and-so, and like they're just selling it up, and he's signing it like he's just signing it, and they never say anything false, right? They're never like, yeah, the NBA star or whatever. Like they're just building him up. He has a table, and he's out there just like, P.T. Barnum in it, like get signed by, and like people are running up, and it's like he is on the show. There's cameras around. Like, I mean, it's like kind of like it probably will be something of a collector's item that's signed by this dude, but it's all in efforts. Like they have to meet these goals of selling merch and like getting things done. Yeah. And it's just like, like they're playing up this image that's false and they're selling it. And I just think it would be funny if you pulled the same thing where it's just like autographed editions of He-Man and Battle Cat from J Money, J Dollar.
I'll do the creations from Mattel. That's what we'll do.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah,
and we'll get Fresher Luke to design all the characters.
What? How?
It's a win-win.
How? But they're already designed, aren't they?
Well, so the creations is like different variations of all of Mattel's properties. So, like this right here, the Skella Glow.
Okay.
Is from the new He-Man show, but it's the creations version of Mattel. So they just make a limited edition with a specific artist who designs the toys. They did like the really giant Skeletor things, but they were like fucking $600 a piece, and that's a no-go. Yeah.
You are a man in his 30s. Why are you buying children's toys?
I am 40.
Okay, you're a man in your 40s.
Well, now hold on. Do you look at 40 as like the start of your 40s, or is this like this is the last? Like, are you one of those like carryover from 30s kind of guys?
I don't know.
This is the 0 year of my 40s. It doesn't count. Fuck that. I'm still.
Well, I just turned 40, so I'll let you know at 41.
Okay.
How I feel.
Okay. I can already.
Or I like the better version where you just count yourself as a year older, and like all the pain that comes with getting older. You just take it on ahead of time. So when you actually,
I don't have any pains. The only pains are fucking the economy is trash.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, he's like J Dilla's got this. He's got this shit down pat. He's got like a family and shit, dude.
Well, you say that, and I'm just like, oh, I wish Ink Spots was here. Like he took a screenshot of something. He's like, it was $120 for it. Like he does plumbing work and all this stuff, and he's like, uses shit all the time. Yeah, $120. He's like, this shit was $20 like a year ago. He's like, it was like nothing.
Oh my god.
Like, oh Jesus, man. And I'm starting to see Like I was waiting to hit like small commodities because I don't really handle anything like that. I'm not. If I was doing a construction project, and I've heard from people that are doing, like if you're doing any renovation, any building right now, like the costs are through the roof, or
that's what
you
I
can't
was
even
doing.
find people to do the work. Because
that's what I was doing before all of this happened, was property maintenance. And you can't fucking do it anymore unless you charge an exuberantly more amount of money to the customers to offset. Literally, everything is so much more expensive just 12 months later than it was. Like in some cases, fucking far more than 50%.
Yeah,
higher.
well, that's hyperinflation, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you start printing money like crazy.
Yep.
What's beyond that? I mean, we're seeing now like the effects of this whole fucking shutdown business working itself out.
What I found really odd is I'll see videos and pictures of CVS's or grocery stores. They're all empty up north, but down in Texas they have grocery stores called Heb H/H-E-B,
Heb.
whatever that. And they're stacked. There's not an empty shelf anywhere.
Yeah. No, I've seen them.
Yeah.
They're great. People, it's normal down there.
Yeah, and it's kind of normal here. But the Walmarts are specifically, for whatever reason, not stocking their shelves. But
they're partially stocking.
You have the Aldis and the other areas stocking their shelves, so it's stupid to pretend. They're pretending like they don't fucking have the stuff.
I'm not entirely convinced of that because Walmart has to cover a lot of ground, man. Like they're probably like if they get limited supply of something, they're probably divvying it up to like the markets they think they'll make more money off of or suit their interest better to supply than others, man. Like they're so huge. I don't know. I don't know how to really read it, but it's just like fuck, man. Like I saw this coming when they were like doing the non-essential essential stuff. I'm like, dude, this is gonna fuck us all over. And it's like you keep an 80-year-old person alive for like another couple months. Like this is what we're sacrificing our entire supply chain and economy on. This is so stupid.
Hot ass noodles. Yeah.
Not to get too political, but
I don't know, noodles.
Well, I don't think it's political. It's just everybody. What this has done is force everybody to learn what economics is. That's why I think it's the greatest thing out of all this.
Yeah, but I don't think people knew just how thin the ice was. Like how close everything was.
Global trade can't exist.
The margins were and everything, man. It's like the moment you fuck with that, and you seriously fuck with it, it's like you're unleashing a monster, and you don't know it until it's gonna bite you in the ass. And now it's biting you in the ass. But it's too late to turn around, man. It's like
17. We got 17 more years until China's ports are up for renewal.
Jesus.
So between now and 17 more years, I could only imagine it getting much worse.
And I kind of want to do like a year in review.
Yeah.
And I got a little depressed before the show because I'm looking at other people's years in reviews and I'm just like, holy shit! Like the amount of bullshit that went down this year is crazy. It's fucking crazy.
We can do a different version where we can talk about things we're grateful for. Right?
Yeah, we could do that, but I want to bitch and moan a bit. But it was I was just like, holy, like it's been such a blur for me. Like usually this is like kind of like days of the week and time of the month and stuff like that. Like when I was working and everything, like I was just like, oh, like what's today's date? And I'm like, I'm gonna have to think about that. Like I don't know.
Yes, awesome.
And I feel like that for the year. I'm like, where did this year start? What happened in it? One of the things I had pulled up here was celebrity deaths in 2021, which is a mix of things. And we can go through it, but they have far reaches like reality TV shows I've never even heard of. Down
so
to like
including that shit. Yeah.
Some down to like like people you would recognize and everything. I was just like, okay, and then I was like, oh yeah, holy shit, so and so these people died, and even people like I forgot about. I'm like, oh yeah, wow. I kind of remember hearing about it, but it wasn't like major hit for me. But it's like, oh wow, so and so passed away. And for me, like a number of them, I'm just like, there's a number of these people. I'm like, they were already at like the end of their lifespan. It's not a huge surprise. Yes, they're major actors or musicians or whoever, but it's not as if they didn't live a full life. They just finally kicked the bucket, like that was it. This is their time. But a number of them too, I'm just like, who was this? And it's quite a spread, like from tragic to like,
too obscure.
Well, there's that too. Like the first one on the list of this thing, I'm just like, who the fuck is it? Oh, he only appeared in one season of a reality TV show. Who the fuck cares? Kind of thing. And yet they quantify it as a celebrity death. And yet there's also people. I was like, I remember somebody dying major that they didn't mention on their list, and I finally remembered who it was, Anne Rice. And then the same day she died, Vicente Fernandez. He's a major Mexican singer. Like a lot of people don't know him, but like he's major in like the Hispanic music community. He died the same day she died, and I remember like looking at Twitter, like waiting for somebody to ever mention him, and it never happened. And I was just like, huh, well, I guess that's just like cultural divide or whatever. I mean, I speak English, and most of the people I talk to speak English, and no one ever mentioned it. But my girlfriend's Guatemalan, and like her whole family speaks Spanish, and this is like, holy shit, like this is like Elvis dying, like in their community. That's like how huge this guy is.
Did he die of natural causes, or was he killed?
I think so. It doesn't. I mean, it could have been COVID, but the dude was like
maybe he was assassinated.
Old. But I mean, he lived a full life. Like it wasn't as if like he was cut short or anything like that. But like he's kind of like that classical, like Mexican style music. That was his thing. Like I don't think he was modern, like you would ever hear about him like from our era. But like this is a shit like my girlfriend grew up listening to from her parents and shit. Like that's what he was. And he passed away the same day, but he never got the same mention. But he's not on this list. Neither is Anne Rice. I was like, man, I know there were those two, and I was trying to look through and scroll through to see who they included and everything. And yet there's all these like nobodies. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, why? Like some of them were child actors, some of them were reality TV stars. But yeah, I was just like, holy, like the new, either the news feed just moves so fast now, or it's just like the craziest shit is going down. I'm just like, man, we're not even a year into like the Biden administration. We're not 1 year in yet. We're close, but I'm like, fuck, man, like the amount of shit that's gone down this whole year. Damn.
All the clones are dying.
But it seems like a blur from 2020. I'm like, how much this has just continued over? And me and Luke, we were kind of talking about. He was saying like, oh, this, we're kind of over COVID. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm not so sure, man. Like my girl, she's a nurse. They're about to open up another wing for COVID people right now.
Yes, I don't know why they're doing all this. There's no one at the hospital.
It's fucking nuts, dude. It's fucking nuts.
There's no one at the fucking hospital.
I think they're over testing. Like if you.
Well, it came out recently that the tests aren't accurate.
I don't think they ever
on top
were.
of that, you're going to always have new cases when you rename something. So if we didn't have something called Omicron last year, of course we're going to have record number of cases. You just fucking made it up.
Well, I mean, you got to keep the fear going somehow.
Well, it's wintertime, dude. It's wintertime, and it's just like this has always been like a crunch on any of these, like influenza, the cold. Like this is always like yes, you get a spike in that, like that transmutable disease or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, I'm looking at them like, are we just hitting the reset button? Are we going back to like I'm worried about masks being mandated again because they're not yet where I'm at. They are in DC, but not in Virginia. I don't think so.
No, because Biden today just said that they cannot there is no effective federal response to the pandemic. He had a meeting with all the other governors from all the other states. So he essentially just was basically admitting, we don't know how to fix this. We don't know how to do anything about this. So we just leave it up to the states. And DeSantis said, oh, well, if that's the case, why don't you just lift the fucking mandates, motherfucker?
Yeah. This was one of the things like in the like Democrats eating their L's or whatever thing that I saw where he was like, yeah, we're leaving it to state response. And everyone's like, this is the same thing Trump said, except we actually got stimulus checks too from a motherfucker. It's like, yeah, you got actual money in while we were shut down and mandates were in. And he just said, leave it to the states. Go on, J Money. What are you going to say?
We still get money. We just got $350 this week on our EBT card that we randomly got one time.
Is that from like your state or?
It's from Trump. When right after Trump left, or excuse me, right before Trump left, a lot of laws went into effect, and one of them, the laws is the money that the schools would normally spend on the students for their lunches, instead of the schools keeping it, it goes to the parents. So every few months. Yeah, so all of the money that they would have spent, Alabama gives every parent a random, it's not an EBT card, that's just what I call it. It's a money from Trump before he left card. And we haven't gotten it all year, but the very first week that they went back to school, we got $650, and you can only use it on groceries. So
now, do they sell liquor at the grocery store? Did you?
Yeah, you can only spend it on groceries.
Yeah, there we go.
And which is fine with me because I have 2 daughters, me, Heather, and my mom. You know.
Your mom has 2 daughters as well?
Huh? Yeah, she's on disability, Social Security, all that stuff.
So you work in that system, bro, right?
Say again?
You work in that system?
I don't work anywhere.
Are you going deaf?
Yes.
You work in the system, man. Like, she's on disability, getting these Alabama debit cards or whatever. That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Went over your head. That's all right.
All right. He is despondent now.
Oh shit! I got a coupon here. I didn't know that.
Oh, damn! You better get that.
Here we go. Here we go.
Activate that coupon.
Now hold on, Jason Hitch. Wait, let me scroll up.
Oh yeah, the Prince fucking died. That motherfucker.
Oh yeah, Prince Philip. Yeah, he was one of the major names on this.
Well, he looked like a corpse.
But I mean,
last photo of him.
Dude was old, man. I mean, he's like in his 90s, so it's not like, whoa, big surprise there. But I saw this guy first, like first name on the whole thing, Jason Hitch. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, who is that?
And he was from 90 Day Fiance. This is where I'm saying, like, a number of these are just like fucking reality TV stars, and this is from like an early season of it. Like, this is like, how the hell am I supposed to know who the fuck this guy is?
Well, I mean, you would if you were a fucking fan, motherfucker.
Yeah, but they usually come back. That's the thing about reality TV shows, is they usually come back. Like, they're in the mix always. My girlfriend is into the 90 Day Fiance thing, and I kind of got dragged into a number.
I don't even get that show. So it's like 2 people are put together who are dysfunctional for 3 months to see if they can have a relationship. Or
essentially, they find somebody who is like on the U.S. dating market, probably not that favorable. There are occasionally just like, there's one person from the early seasons of 90 Day Fiance where it's like he moved here. He used to live in Brazil. He had like a childhood friend, but he had a crush on her, and then he like went back and he found her, and like he works in LA, he works in like the entertainment industry. He made it, and he went back and like they reconnected, and yet she was like Brazilian, but he was American, and brings her in. Like, it's probably one of the only few stories in the whole thing where it's like it worked out. Like a number of these are like they failed in the dating market in America, and they look elsewhere, and they find somebody who's looking to get into America, who's less than ideal, but they hit, like, as far as like you're just Skyping, you're just texting, you're like you sell yourself on it. That's the whole thing. Like this is a girl who's pretty attractive, but she's not a U.S. citizen, but she wants to be in the United States. So she finds this guy, and like most of the show is like them like meeting up, and like she finds out he's not as well off as she thought thought he was, right? Like she thought she was
But I
going to
mean,
be
they're
this
just
fabulous life.
they're just
It's
trying
like,
to get that green
nope.
card, though, aren't they?
I don't believe those shows for one fucking second.
Kind of in a way. There are a number. So there's like one of the recent famous ones is a guy named, I think his name is Jorge George, and he's in California, and he has basically started up in the weed business.
Nice.
And he meets this Russian girl that he really likes, and she's
Whoa.
just like, she's expecting a really lavish life. Like, I'm going to get a new Louis Vuitton purse. I'm going to have my own car. You're going to get me the wedding dress. Like, I mean, it's just like, I'm a princess. I need to be doted upon every fucking month. Like, I need these things. And like, he's got money, but he doesn't have that kind of money. And
now,
like,
do you believe these shows? Do you believe them?
I think there's a number of things that's scripted, but like with them, like you find out like he overpromised what he could provide for her, and she like overexpected what he could. Like it was kind of like you sort of both sold yourselves on a lie, and now you're meeting to find out that it doesn't work out. And like he got really pissed off about it and was like, yeah, she's doing cam shows, she's a stripper. Like he was in like, fuck it, I'm gonna burn her to the ground. Like they were so like at odds. Like he burned the relationship. Then he like backtracked the next season where he's like, I was in a bad place. I said some things I didn't really mean. But it's like, well, I think she actually was doing that, but he's just trying to save himself right now. Like it's kind of weird because like a lot of the times when they do this, like if they do the whole marriage thing, like you're liable for this person for 10 years. Like you're liable for their expenses, whatever they do. You're basically signing up for a 10-year, like I'm signing off on you for support all the way if they make it into this country. And that's where like it'll catch a lot of them. And they've even done like a new thing where it's like reverse 90-day fiance, where like they're going to another country from America. And
that was a dude. That was a short, portly dude with no neck, right? Who puts mayonnaise in his hair.
Who's this? Who are you talking about?
There was a 190-day fiance that went viral online. PewDiePie was featuring him on his channel at one point. It was a short, portly guy. He had no neck. And he was like, I just want to find love. And I think from what I remember, he found this girl in, I think it's Malaysia, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And so he went to Malaysia and lived with her. And,
I think I know what you're talking
big
about.
neck dude.
Yeah. Not even big neck. The dude just looked like an elephant.
No
sat
neck,
on
man.
him.
It like merged into his body.
Like, his head and he had no neck. His head and his shoulders were like the same thing.
Oh, yeah, he was freakish looking. I know what you're talking about now.
And so it ended up like he was like, oh, I want to find love, I'm a good guy, and in the end of it she ended up saying, I'm not attracted to you, I don't care. And he's like, I'll give you all these things. And she's like, no, you're just a terrible person, I just don't want to have anything to do with you. Because she's obviously in Malaysia, she's she lives there, she lives in like not ideal American conditions, you know what I mean? Like it's really
they showed it. She had her own kid too at that point, like when he met her, and like she was like taking showers like in the street with a bucket and like it was like, and it's cold, like it's just like you can understand like why these people are so desperate to get out of their situation. And like that was like a dude who's just like, there's no fucking way she finds this guy attractive, but
absolutely
she's just looking at bettering her own situation and her kid's situation or whatever. There's a guy, like I'm telling you, like if you saw him, like he'd have no chance. Like I said, these are people that can't make it on the dating market.
They got dealt a bad hand, so and plus he put mayonnaise in his hair.
I didn't know about that. Like when you said that, I was like,
it's in the show. There was this one part where he's like getting ready and he's like, he gets this jar of mayonnaise and starts combing it through his hair. I was like, what?
Dude, get actual hair gel. Let's not.
He's like, no, it's got natural oils and it keeps my hair lustrous. And I'm just like, oh my god.
So here we have a Louis Vuitton designer dude, died of cancer.
Virgil Abloh.
I don't know him, but like the ones where it's like they died of cancer or an accident. I'm like, oh man, that just sucks. Like especially this dude's like 41. But I like these are names like I'm just not recognizing. Young
Are you
Dolph.
talking about that black dude right there? Yeah.
Damn, dude,
Yeah.
young Dolph is dead. Fuck.
He got shot. Yeah.
That guy was a legend.
Was he?
Nah,
I have
I don't
no
know.
idea who he was.
Okay. This guy was on another
No,
reality
not
TV
Mark
show.
Howard. He was a fucking legend.
Below Deck.
The world is a darker place without him. Fuck.
Then we have Peter Scolari. This is a name I recognize, but I couldn't tell you where he was at. 66 though. Battled cancer. Like Gasson. Like here we go. Now I'm like, this is
go up.
To Willie,
I remember this guy,
guy?
Willie
Peter?
Garson.
Willie.
I actually do remember that guy. He's like an
he was a
actor.
good actor.
Yeah.
Died at the age of 57. And
That's so young, bro.
I mean,
That's
it
so
is,
young.
but it isn't. Like
Well,
I mean, if you get in your 50s, you start like anything your doctor's telling you is like you need to do something. Like you should do something. And who knows? Maybe you can't.
Well, that's the
None of
thing.
these
Like,
things
there was a character designer or art director in animation whose name I'm forgetting, but he died at like 47 or something.
There's all sorts of ways you check out early, and like in human history, most people like died in their 30s. Like,
well, most of these deaths are going to be men, dude. Like guys have like a shorter lifespan in general than women do.
In my mind, is just kind of like we have so many celebrities at this point. Like some of these people are dropping off, like David Bowie and all these other people. I'm just like, they have to die sometime. Like they're gonna drop off. They're getting old. They're getting up there. Like I'm seeing now. Like my girlfriend just left on like Comedy Central, and they had like Office Marathon or something, and they're having these commercials for like Reno 911. Like, and it's like they're doing a new thing. It's like the search for QAnon or something like that, like a new special that they're promoting. Yeah. And like these are people like, dude, like when I was a teenager, we're on TV. They're coming back and doing new stuff. And I'm just like, God, they're so old. Like they're doing their best to hide it, but they're so old, at this point. And it's just like everyone's aging, but Hollywood's all about like hiding it as best you can. And it's just like everyone checks out at some point.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna check out soon.
Finish Forsaken Gods 2 first.
Well, what about Forsaken Gods? What about Forsaken Gods 3?
I mean, finish the whole story if you can, but
well, I'm probably gonna do Kentaro and just like not finish it. I'll just die.
Well, you need to tell one of us your vision, so
my vision.
One of us might make money off of it.
My vision is I'm lying into bed and then I just croak.
And so Norm Macdonald was the first name. I was like, oh, okay, there's somebody I really know. Okay, Williams. He looks familiar.
That black dude, man, he was such a good actor.
And this guy's from The Wire.
Well, he's in a lot of movies.
Wait, do any of you guys fear your own mortality?
Yes, I want to live forever.
Do you though?
Yes.
To see your loved ones die in front of you?
That's okay. I want to live forever.
I think that'd get boring.
I don't know. I study history, so all the stuff that I missed, I feel so. It's like, I was listening to a Chinese dissident the other day, and it was from the early '80s when communism had first started taking over, and he was talking about how people today no longer die a hero's death or a warrior's death, things like that.
Yeah,
and it's like, fuck, man, it must have been so fucking cool to live back in the day.
No, it's tough.
I mean, it'd been scary as shit. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
No vaccines, Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, it was really like we're pretty lucky in today's age. Like it was really hard to live back in the day. Like I was alive back before there was even internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Before cell phones and before the internet.
Yeah, before that shit. Yeah.
So, yeah,
And now we've got the internet, and nobody can live without it. So
I could live without it.
I could. I wouldn't want to.
I prefer to have it, but yeah, I could live without it. I'd love
I
to
wish
watch
you have you seen those challenges? That challenge meme going around where it's like you got to live in this place with no internet for 3 months.
Oh my god!
You,
Like
you
no,
get
no.
you get $750,000. Can you do it? And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like no one. It's never serious. You know what I mean? Like there's no one actually.
Yeah, I know.
making that
Yeah,
offer.
but it's like no challenge to that, man. At all.
Yeah,
I could go a whole year
could
for
totally
that.
do that. Yeah, I could do a whole year. It'd be great. Because like the picture of the place is always like a really nice place. You know what I mean? It's like out in the nature and.
It'd almost be like a challenge too. Like if you wanted porn, you'd have to like go to like a sex shop or what's left of bookstores and find.
You could just draw your own porn, right?
I could
on cave walls. Yes.
That'd be hilarious. After the challenge is done, it's like, holy shit, you really remodeled the place. Yeah. Yeah, I got kind of lowly. Richard Donner, another one that was a big name, but 91. I mean, that's pretty high end, man. If you make it to
who's the guy waiting for the facial? What's that right there?
This guy? I'm guessing some survivor.
Daniel Mickelson.
Manny.
Got it.
And the show Manny. Let's see, Daniel.
What is he doing? Is that another?
At a clothing line. 23 years old, though.
God.
They don't say how he died, so that seems like accident or something.
Overdose. Yeah.
Something, yeah. 84. This dude. 55. That's kind of. I feel like for a rock star dude, that's kind of normal.
Yeah.
Died of 50.
Clarence Williams died? I had no fucking idea.
Clarence Williams
dead.
third.
He was a decent 70s actor, right? Didn't he do a Kung Fu movie or something like that?
He was 81.
He was in Kung Fu. Black, what do you call blaxploitation films?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This guy's 93. Ernie Lively. Arlene Gold. Dude, there's a ton of these. I'm just like, who?
Who dat?
Love Boat.
Oh yeah.
I never watched.
90 years old.
I remember this song. Yeah, I don't know most of these guys at all.
I know, right? That's the way most of them go. And then, like I said, there's some more. So this is one of the child actor ones. I was like, oh, this guy looks pretty young. Who was he? He was in School of Rock. And I'm like, oh shit, he's struck by a car.
What?
Fuck, man. Died at 32. Well, the dude.
We keep seeing 32 and 23. I don't know. What is it?
Well, I mean, as I said, most of the people on this list are guys. So.
Did you watch the new series of Star Trek movies, the J.J. Abrams ones?
I saw two of them.
First one? Yeah, first and second.
The guy who played Chekhov, the Russian dude.
Yeah,
he was killed, and he was pinned between two cars. Like
no. What happened was his 4-wheel drive was parked because his driveway is like a hill, and it was parked at the top. And I guess he didn't have it in the clutch or something and
like
went down
or whatever.
Yeah, in park, and so he went down to the gate to get it, and the car rolled down and.
Yeah, I know he was pinned, and it was just like, and nobody, like, I feel like people passed by, but they just thought it was a joke or something, and like he just died. I was just like, fuck, that's just got to be like,
yeah,
this is how I go. Like if I were in that position, I'd be like, this is
not
how
like
I
this.
die.
Not like this.
There was one time where in animation,
he was just starting out, man. Like he was like 20s, like. He was young, man.
Yeah, he was talented. He had a future. But there was one chick in animation that I had worked near. and she was going to get out of the industry, and she's going to go live on this property somewhere and like just be a farmer. And as she was like trying to move to go live her new life, the tire in the car I can't remember all the specifics, but she injured her leg from something happening with the car. It like rolled over her leg or something. And so she went to the hospital and they gave her like a blood transfusion, but the blood they gave her was like not good blood, and she died from that. So,
oh God.
Yeah, it was.
That kind of worries me, man. Like even like when my girl went to nursing school, like they gave out like these stories. I'm like, holy shit! Like they will cover their ass on like shit they fuck up royally in the medical field.
Yeah. I do not trust the doctors here. I do not.
You never know, man. I mean, like one of the stories I think was
Mark
like
York.
one of the stories she gave was like somebody basically. So when you're hooked up to like a kidney dialysis machine, basically it can just fucking drain your blood, like drain all the blood out of you, and that's what like one of the nurses did, and like basically it's kind of like they told the nurse, shut up, don't say a word, we'll cover whatever we can. Like it's like at the risk of like lawsuits that will shut down the whole hospital, like they cover for like shit where you're just like, are you fucking kidding? That's why so and so died, because you didn't hit this one fucking switch. Like it's fucking crazy
to put that blood back in as it's getting sucked out.
Well, no, I mean it's just kind of like they thought they were just flipping on like the whole like we'll just circulate your blood back into you, but they hit the wrong one and walked away. And this guy, no idea, just like I'm sure at some point he just passed out from the blood loss, and then he just died. But they never admitted to it. They covered for it. It's fucking crazy the shit that can go on. Bone marrow cancer, 86. Died at 106. I mean, I'll weep tears for this guy. Norman Lloyd from Dead Poet Society.
Lloyd Price. We're getting through the Lloyds now.
What's up, Mike Wilson Art in the chat?
Oh, Mike Wilson Art, dude. I don't know whether I dropped my response to your thing. Mike Wilson was like he left this comment where he's like, I've never been in a place that didn't like shut down later on. And I was gonna drop like an Office Space reply gif on it, like with the Bobs, the interview, where they just stare at the guy. And phenomenal talent though. You guys should follow him. The dude has posted great fucking art. Great artist. Mike Wilson. We'll go over your shit, man. We'll look at your stuff later on. Why not?
Yeah.
Nah.
There better be some nudes.
I will. Let's see here. Stop me when you want me to stop, man. But like a lot of these people, I'm just like, who are these people?
They all look like
cause of death,
weirdos.
COVID-19, COVID, all this shit. Like it's like, shit happens.
Well, where have you worked, Mike?
I don't want to press him on that. But he's like, every place I used to work at is closed down.
Like at a bakery or some shit?
I was like, I would probably leave that off my CV.
Yeah.
Every place I worked at shut down. It's like, we're gonna send you into the sabotage.
This is Helen.
You probably could get hired.
Helen McCory is dead. What?
Oh yeah. She I got into Peaky Blinders like pretty late. I think they had 5 seasons out already, and she's major character. And it's like not after I watched that, dude, like a month later, like the news dropped on this, and I was like, oh shit. Well, that kind of kills a lot of that show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't that old, man, but she had cancer, and I wouldn't have known it from watching the show because it was fairly recent that they recorded some of that stuff.
Anyway, this is depressing the fuck out of me, man. I think we should move on to
Stay on.
We should move on to another.
Dude, I thought it was
all right. DMX is gone. All right.
I love how DMX is next to the Prince Philip.
This is when we're getting to the heavy hitter.
Old Ritter. Damn. All right.
Richard Gunn. Walter. Siegel. Let's see.
Go back up.
Rush, I thought was from last year too. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, Rush died this year.
Yeah, this dude.
No,
the
the
grassy
next one
star.
up. Next one up.
Oh, next one.
up.
This one.
After
Reggie Warren.
Yeah,
Reggie Warren.
Reggie Warren. Or am I getting him mixed up with someone else?
52. I don't know. It's so crazy dying that young. That's 12 years from now for me. I couldn't fucking.
You're probably gonna die sooner than
that. Larry Flint, dude. This is one I was like Rush Limbaugh, Larry Flint.
Larry Flint should have died a long time ago.
He should. Well, I mean, yeah, the dude lived a long fucking life, despite like this guy was in like serious health conditions, like
yeah,
a long time ago.
But I guess his burner kept him alive.
Something. Dustin Diamond, Screech, passed away this year. Now he kind of turned out to be a big piece of shit from most accounts. It seemed like.
Yeah, what was he in trouble for?
I just knew they had like something where like they had celebrity boot camp or something, and like they had like actual like drill sergeants and shit, and like he was just like, I kick his ass. I know karate. Like this dude just like had this smug, fuck you attitude. Like he was kind of a piece of shit.
I heard that he'd gotten into like trouble with the law or something at some point.
Oh, all sorts of times he had like I think he had multiple drug charges. Like this dude just like had like really. It's just like he did act really well, I guess, for Screech, because like outside of that, he was just a complete asshole. Like, he was in porn, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he had multiple drug charges and stuff. But yeah, he just like thought he was above everything. But still, I never expected him to die at 44. Like when he died, I was like, oh shit, that one surprised me.
Sophie Zion.
I don't know who she is. 34 though, so young.
Yeah.
They're not given. Oh, she's transgender. Now this is one of those ones where I'm like, in which way? Like they always say trans woman, trans man. I'm like, wait, I have to do like the math on that. Like,
yeah.
So they're transitioning into that. I'm supposed to recognize them that. I don't know. Like it's one of those things where I'm like,
if they look female, then you can assume that they're a trans woman.
Sis Leach, Tyson. Let's see. Or Larry King. I thought that was last year too that he died, but this is early, January.
Damn, Song Yu Young died.
87.
Lots of Jewish people died.
Damn. Not revealed how she died.
26.
That was probably
Garen.
In South Korea?
Oh, I don't know. I just kind of fucking know.
Just making up shit.
Yeah.
Wait.
I don't know who the Asian lady is.
I thought it was going to be like Dolly Parton, but it's actually her husband,
Randy Parton. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I would have been like, oh, shit. Well, not.
Like Dolly Parton. The only reason Dolly Parton's going to live all of us is because of her breasts. Like, sustain her.
Dude, that would be a funny power, man.
Looks like baby CEO died.
Yep. Harry Brandt. I don't even know who that is. Harry Brandt. Let's see.
Phil Spector died?
Phil Spector. Yep. While still serving 19 years to life for murdering Lana Clarkson.
Damn.
What a thing, man. Like, to like, be making it and kill some. Like, you couldn't hire somebody to do that for you?
Well, there was that case of that football quarterback guy. Who went to jail
Hernandez, Alex Hernandez, or something.
I think that's who it was.
Yeah,
He'd like
Patriots dude.
Yeah.
Well, he was just a little fucking gangster asshole. I bet you he killed other people too.
But I mean he was a hell of a fucking football player.
There is like crimes of passion, but it's like, man, if you're connected well enough, you're high enough up in the food chain, and somebody who's had like a long enough you have the money and everything, like why wouldn't you just be on the conspiracy charges rather than like
pull a Hillary Clinton, my man.
That might be like
Siegfried died. Hooray! Siegfried.
Oh no,
died. That's hilarious. I didn't
pancreatic
know
cancer.
It wasn't
which one?
Because his partner got mauled by a lion or a tiger.
Oh, Roy was mauled. Okay.
I would have thought Roy would have gone first, but no, Siegfried fucking died.
Ooh.
Damn.
Oh well, Roy died too from COVID-19.
Oh, he did. Oh,
Yeah.
well. I guess
Although you know,
they're finally together in heaven. Thank God.
Siegfried was 81 years
Homosexual
old.
heaven.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they're totally banging each other.
Siegfried was 81, and you know,
Homosexuals go to heaven.
it's kind of like
Who knew you could make a career out of antagonizing wild animals and
in
strapping
Las Vegas, yeah, man.
and strapping like like wires to people and pretending that they're floating just by raising your hands.
So wait,
That's
so
crazy. That's
I
like some
guess
strange kind of art, you know? It's like an installation performance art of some kind.
Yeah.
I would make this person float. It is magic.
Have you seen David Copperfield live? Have you seen him live?
I haven't seen him live, no.
He's the live shows are interesting, bro.
How are they interesting?
I don't know. He can make paper float right in front of your face, and you're like, how the fuck are you doing that right in front of my face? And I don't know. It's weird. His shows are quite interesting. They're totally so like when you watch it on TV, it totally is the same as when you watch it in real life, because unless you're in the front rows, first couple rows where he's walking up and down by you, that's the only true experience you get. Otherwise, he's just like a tiny figure walking around this giant auditorium.
Is he as good as Chris Angel?
I never liked Chris Angel.
but his last name is Angel. How can you not like someone?
Him and that guy who went and hold his breath for a long time. What was that fella? What's his
David
name?
Blaine.
Blaine, yeah.
David Blaine's actually
David Blaine traded. So he did like the whole street magic thing, and then he traded sideways down. I don't know how. I would say traded down to like this like shock shit where it's like, oh, I'm gonna be in a frozen ice cube. I'm just gonna stand and play. Like it's just like this isn't really magic, dude. These are just like reality TV show contests taking on too long, man.
It's human endurance.
Yeah, if that. And it's just like, do you really think
it's endurance.
Do you think anyone else can do this? Like I couldn't find somebody else who could do that, especially for the money you're making. Like I don't know, it just wasn't impressive.
Not many people could do that, actually.
No, but it's still like it's not an impressive feat, dude. Like it's just like, okay,
so you just to go so many days without food, to be in ice.
How about this as a challenge for David Blaine? He gets drowned 3 times in a row and resuscitated by somebody who knows CPR. How about that as like a fucking challenge for him? Rather than just like, I'm just gonna sit in an ice block. I'm gonna dangle from a cord for like 5 days and see if my circulation didn't cut out. It's just like, dude, like this isn't magic, dude. Like you're not putting on a performance really. It's just like ugh. So you take offense to are you a David Blaine fan? Do you support?
No, but I mean, it's like I feel like David Blaine's a different kind of, I guess, magician / entertainer than say David Copperfield. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
feel like you're comparing apples to oranges.
No, dude, I remember shit where he did like the street magic thing where it's just like pick a card and then like he's brushing it off and it's like tattooed on his chest, or he's like floating in front of people, they're freaking the fuck out. I dig that David Blaine, like the street magician David Blaine. I dig that, but the whole like, yeah, I have like all these cameras on me. They're gonna watch me as I just like sit in a block of ice. I think that was one of them. Like he was just like living in a block of ice. I'm just like, what's the real thing here? Like, you're not actually encapsulated in it, and like you're not actually frozen in the ice. It's not like David Copperfield did the shit where it's like Statue of Liberty disappears. I'm gonna walk through the Great Wall of China, like all this shit where it's just like it was a major TV moment kind of thing, but it was over like in an hour rather than like we're gonna just watch him do this for like 3 days and
sure
that's that. Like there's no spectacle, I would say. Spectacle.
Well, all right, look, I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove it to you.
Okay.
Right now.
Well, I paused on Tanya Roberts because this is one where I was thinking of there are a bunch of sitcoms I really fucking hate, like to the bone, but that 70 show is one I really like. I'd say the first 5 seasons are really good. And I respect it. And it just kind of hits all the right notes, but I don't want to like delve into it too much. Like I worry about watching, I don't know about you guys, I worry about watching the things I like too much to the point that like the specialness gets lost. Like you just repeated it too much that like it loses that quality.
You should just savor it for the moment.
Racism.
Yeah. Like I think I only watched that 70s show like when it was on network TV, the Fox channel, like it was on repeats. Dude, you should watch it. I think you'd like it.
No.
Dude, watch it. You should watch it.
No.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance. And then it was on Netflix, and like my girlfriend just started rewatching it, and I was like, dude, I remember why I liked the show. Like the Red character I fucking love. The Stephen Hyde character I fucking love. Like it was just like actually funny, and in my opinion, it rode the line really well on terms of like where they wanted discourse to be at that time. It's a show that they wouldn't produce today. I could tell you that much. But this was like she was the MILF next door on that show as Midge, and I was like, oh shit, she died. And I think I remember hearing about this. This is one of those ones where I was like, oh man, yeah, I remember hearing about that. And she was a Bond girl, like she was a hot chica. But yeah, she was one of the names on this list. Oh.
Anyway, you should share.
That's the end of it, actually.
Share the screen.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I don't have multiple monitors. I never mean to leave you guys hanging too much. Here we go.
All
right. So
first class citizen.
You're talking shit about David Blaine, but like here's the proof of how great of a magician he actually is.
All right, these guys. Hey, fellas. Hey, I'm taking the street
out of my house.
You want to see some magic?
Oh my God, you're David Blaine! David Blaine! That one thing was incredible.
You want to see some magic?
Yeah. Sure.
Dude, this is totally David Blaine style.
So far. It's gonna be on TV.
Well, it's David Blaine, isn't it?
It's gonna be on TV.
Might be. All right. Put it back in the deck.
Oh my God, this is crazy! You're David Blaine.
What the fuck is this, bro? This is real.
No, that is not our card. Nope.
Interesting. Lift up your shirt.
What?
Who? You. Lift up your shirt.
Ow! What the hell? What the? How did you do that? How did you do that? When did you do that? I didn't talk. How did you? Well, there's not one on me.
Hey.
What?
Why don't you check your wallet?
Oh, what? The hell? No. What? No.
Look where your driver's license is.
Don't look. No. It's right here. Don't worry. It's just my driver's license. Okay. Big what? What the? Big what? Just my driver's license.
How tall are you?
How tall am I? I am 5 foot ace of clubs. What the hell? What the fuck? Oh, how? Look what you did. What did you? Can I see? Shit. It's typed on there. How did you type? What if I get pulled over? It's typed on there.
Hey, you. What? Hey, why don't you check your cell phone?
Oh, no. What? Okay, would you change my home screen? Okay, ace of clubs. He's changing my home screen. Big deal. That one's easy. Big look. Easy.
Why don't you do me a favor and call your mom?
What? No. What? Okay, don't worry. My mom's never home during the day. She's not going to be home. Yeah? Mom? What? She's home. What? Mom?
Tell her to look at your junior year high school yearbook.
No. What? No. Mom, can you look at my junior year high school yearbook? She's already looking at it. What the? Mom, she's looking at a picture of me already.
What's in the picture?
What's in the picture? Okay, no, there's no card. Okay, thanks, Mom. I'm eating Chinese food with my fucking friends. He's eating Chinese food with his friends. Big whoop. He's eating Chinese food with his friends.
Check your sock.
Me? What? Chopsticks! Chopsticks! What's the chopsticks? What is it? Stop putting shit on.
See, I don't know why you think he's not cool, man. Like that's just like.
It's only funny for like 4 or 3 minutes.
Well, I mean, there's another one of him doing even cooler stuff than that.
Dude, I would love for somebody to just pull off one of those magic tricks where they just have like a whole deck of cards, the same card, It's like pick your card, and then like you do all this crazy shuffle, and you're just like, is this your card? And it's just like the whole deck is just one card. Like there's no way to fail. I would do something like that. That would be my magic trick.
That'd be amazing. I would
Now
pay
check
good
the whole
money for
deck.
that.
You're amazing.
I'll just do sleight of hand, swap the deck of cards, so they believe they're
It'd be
doing what they're doing.
he'd have two different decks, all of like
Hmm?
two different kinds of the same card.
But I was missing all of Mike Wilson's stuff here. I kind of hate this when I'm like on another thing sharing. Pretty much everywhere I worked, it's gone out of biz. LOL. Denny Sarvat, I don't know who that was. T. Roberts, pretty smoking. Yeah, she was. They're doing 90. So, as much as I love the 90s, like they're gonna miss the mark, man. At this point in time, if they're gonna do that, they're gonna miss the mark completely.
Yeah.
Like race comedy was a thing in the 90s. Like that was just a thing.
Yeah, there's no way they could do it today. Today's.
But that intro, man, that was totally David Blaine energy and everything, and the reactions. They oversold it with the whole what the fuck, but like.
Well, I mean, I can bring up part 2 if you want.
No.
All right.
Please don't.
It's right here. I could just put it up.
That should have just been a 2-minute skit. That was stretched out a little too long. But I do appreciate it.
Well, you gotta. Well, I mean, you gotta escalate the joke, right? So.
Absolutely, man. I'm all about running things into the ground. Like you never know when you cross the line till you crossed it, and people let you know.
And then you just keep going way beyond it.
You might, man. Like there is something.
You're like, well, I crossed it. I might as well just see how much further I can get towards the event horizon. So.
It's like I crashed the plane already. Now I'm just gonna pour gasoline on it. I'm just gonna do as much as I can.
You've crashed the plane and now you're trying to tunnel into the earth.
Yeah, you just keep going, man. Like there's parts I can appreciate something like that where it's just like, no, I'm not pulling out of this. I'm not. No,
you're not pulling out.
No.
I'm
not
stopping for anyone.
Yeah,
I'm only gonna stop for me once I'm satisfied.
Who are you gonna pull?
What do we got here? What do we got here?
Oh.
I was waiting for someone to read.
Well, they got it wrong because it's Lana, not Lorena.
You're drunk. There's no way out. You have to fuck one to survive.
Andrea or Lorena.
Who are these?
It's Lana.
Who gives?
These are the Wachowskis. These are the Wachowskis.
Yeah, those are the homo Wachowskis.
Oh man, but I'm presumably fucking them in the ass, right?
I am not doing that.
I'm not getting fucked in the ass. That's not happening. Like I'm eating a bullet before.
I'm not participating in this degeneracy.
Who's like? Wait, I don't understand the scenario. Why do you have to fuck one in order to survive?
I don't know. Why do they? Yes, I agree. Why do they force us to make decisions?
Yeah. But I mean, if you had to, I mean,
like what is it? Is it like a?
I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna do the one on the left.
Is it a Squid
Game?
I'm doing the one on the left.
Huh?
Is it a Squid Game kind of?
Dude,
deal?
It's just the hair, man. It's like one looks natural, one looks like a freak.
Well, they're both bald men, so I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I think Lana would be more fun at a party. Or Lorena.
No, it's Lana.
I mean, if we're doing blowjob, I do the one on the right. Why
do you keep going to say?
Yeah, why are we still going with this? I think we needed to end this.
Well, you brought it up, J Money. Like I'm following through on the actual question. Neither of you provide an answer.
Well, it doesn't even make the question doesn't even make sense.
It's a gun to your head moment. Like you gotta fuck.
If it's a gun to my head moment, then I'll die.
I mean, like I said, if I had to get fucked, I'm eating the bullet. But if I have to fuck one,
it says you fuck one. It's not that you get.
Yeah. So
it's that
I picked the one on the left. Yeah. I mean, I lived to see another day. The question is, does anyone else have to know about it? How much do I get money out of it? Like, there's all sorts of questions I have about it.
I mean, you get to live another day. That's all you get.
Not bad for old chicks. They used to be dudes, Mike. They used to be dudes.
They used to be dudes. They used to make amazing
the Matrix
films.
Guys.
Yeah. They did Speed Racer, which is my favorite film. One of my favorite films.
What the?
Is it that good?
The new one?
It is. Which new one? Which one?
It's
Which
the
one are you
live
talking
action
about?
one, right?
The live action one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I just thought it looked
Dude,
so
it's
hokey, but it's good.
amazing. I
Okay.
love that film. That's like
I
the
think-
only good anime adaptation that's ever been
I
done.
think Kelsey Shannon was like about it too. Like
Yeah.
They had no shame in redoing like the old school style. They had no shame.
It's not only
I
that,
love it.
they took that and they just made the whole thing cooler. You know what I mean? It's a good
Right.
it's a good masterclass in how to actually do an anime adaptation into live action.
Yeah. Who were the directors again?
The Wachowskis.
Yeah.
Sisters.
Trannies.
I think, but to be fair, I think that was before they transitioned. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know why they both had to do it. Like, it's kind of weird. Makes your brotherly relationship awkward, I would imagine.
Well,
did they grow up in Hollywood, or did they
I had a theory about it.
I kind of wonder if they weren't damaged by their parents.
Oh, they were totally damaged. Their religious uncle or somebody did insane things to them. Speculation, of course.
There's one thing I can't like wrap my head around. Like even when I try to like wrap my I can see where a guy who's gay wants to be with a guy, or a girl who's gay wants to be with a girl, but I cannot wrap my head around like somebody who thinks like they're supposed to be another gender. I'm like, how does that thought enter your head, and how do
gender
you
dysphoria? So what?
Yeah,
what
but
happened,
how does that? Like,
well, they were probably my cousin James, who I call a closeted homosexual. His my cousins used to get him to dress up in like tutus and shit like that. And there's no fucking way you can do that to me. And guaranteed that's there was scenarios that happened in their life that changed. Because you remember when they made the Matrix, they were fucking yo boys, fitted caps, baggy pants, jerseys, baseball jerseys, and now they look extremely distressed.
Like,
I'm just saying, where does the thought enter your head where it's just like, my dick's got to go. My dick's got to go. It doesn't belong.
They were raped by their mom, their aunt, their uncle, their dad.
Like the amount of times my dick comes into the equation in my life is very, very small. And the fact that people will devote their entire like mind thought process to it does or doesn't belong. I'm just like, where does that come from? You know, like
that's a good reference of thought.
And it's like at the same time, it's like you're not gonna get better working. Like right now, your body works as is. You're telling me you want to cut it off and like take chances on what happens from that? Like that's fucking nuts. I don't fucking get it. Like where the thought enters and where you think it's a good thing to follow through on. There's all sorts of like plastic surgery where I understand it's like you want a nose job, you want a boob job, you want an enhancement or something like that.
Look.
But to completely chop off.
Look. You gotta understand. No, stop interrupting me.
All right, Luke is gonna educate me.
I'm gonna. So
me after.
You after. I think J Dollar is onto something, but I also think there was another thing. I think Lana is legit. Obviously,
yes, agreed.
Like suffers from gender dysphoria. However, her sister, I think, went along with it because there was that case where Warner Brothers got taken to court because they lifted the story of the Matrix from that black woman who ended up winning, or they settled out of court. She got like a couple of $1 million. And I think Lana's sister saw what was coming and quote unquote transitioned along with Lana because there's kind of a sort of protection in achieving that kind of identity status. Like people are less likely to persecute you as a result. So that's my thought on the theory. But what were you going to say, Jadal?
Well, what I was going to say is unicism, being Unix for your family is an age-old tradition.
Really?
When Judaism and Christianity, when they went from cults to religions, eunuchs were always the most zealous or the most rigorous of the followings. And just before China fell and became communist during Mao, all of the princely individuals that made up the system that was China, they were all trained by eunuchs. Like I guarantee you, Harvey Weinstein's a eunuch. I guarantee you, Tom Hanks is a eunuch. Like there are, and then their wives are the high coven that controls their high-ranking eunuch actors or producers or
Oh my
executives.
god! So it's this literally is a fucking cult.
Yeah, they're totally fucking cults. They're straight up cult fucks. Like they're insane. And
but wait, if
and
Harvey Weinstein was a eunuch,
he's a eunuch, bro. He has no dick.
like if that was the case, why is
Wait, how did he jerk off onto the
he
plant?
never did. He never did.
So
That
then
So he
why?
just like had a squirt bottle and just
That
like,
was all. It was all. So the lady who.
oh my god, J Money, you have to do like a full video on
Yeah,
this.
you gotta tell us
Yeah.
all this now, dude. Like
Yeah.
holy shit.
No. This has to be like a full like you.
No, I
want
to hear this now. I want to hear this now.
Yeah,
well, I do too, but it needs to be a full video.
Let's
too.
let him talk.
All right, yeah, go on.
They it's like if you follow my tweets, you know what I'm saying. It's all we're seeing now is Game of Thrones. Like that's what we're seeing. Dune, it's Prince Charles taking over when his mom dies. And the regrowth, the re-entry in of a mastication upon the mothers that raised them. Because you're guaranteed Queen Elizabeth treated Prince Charles like a sack of shit. If you ever watch Hannibal, that's a good way to see how tiger moms raise their children. And this is everything that we're dealing with is a culmination of the Mithraic religion, the cult coven religion that is the women, which is just basically a group of more than 6 ladies. And then we're
like
watching
7 ladies.
Yeah, they all collect together and it just like magically starts happening.
You got your 7 for the women and you got your 13 for the males. And
now wait. J Money, like if you're in a room with women and like 7 suddenly appear in the room, you're the only guy.
I dominate them and would ask
do you
them all to
what measures do you take? Are you just suddenly like in like crisis mode, like
no, I don't. I love witches are awesome. Witches are some of the most interesting characters. Like Elon Musk, his mother is the one who runs. You got primogeniture. How males all throughout life are supposedly the ones that you're taught that runs the shop, but really it was Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth II, Elon Musk's mom. All of these people, the Wilhelm family.
Wait, you got Queen Elizabeth II, and then Elon Musk's mom.
Yeah, well,
what?
Coven.
How are we making this connection?
Well, Elon Musk's family is a mining family from South Africa that worked for Queen Elizabeth.
Okay.
All of the South African, the Hanseatic League and all.
So wait,
of
what
those
did his
people.
mom do? Like, how did she set
His
this
mom
all up?
is the one with the vagina.
Well, of course, yes, but I mean, what did she do to like?
She runs it.
So she's hooked a leash around Elon. Is that what you're saying? Like,
yes, Elon is
him?
autistic. Yes.
Is she still alive? Elon's
yes, and she's beautiful. She's like 70, 80 years old, and she looks like fucking Maria Abramovich. She's like,
don't wake up my keyboard again. I'm gonna find out who she
share
is.
This shit now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's like this is where we're like. I give you an example. Boris Johnson, his wife is a witch. She's a high coven witch.
So, at what point do we need to go around with silver stakes and like machine guns?
That would be awesome, but that's unfortunately not true.
I think I think we need to start cleaning house.
Yes, I agree. Because what it is you remember. So back in the day, the religion was always it was basically the cow, the boar. And now it's the Vesica Pisces, and the Vesica Pisces is just the vagina that births children. And we went to a new era a couple of years ago, the new astral era, and they have yet to give up power, and they're fucking up. They're breaking the rules. Because you got your 25,000 year cycle or whatever it is for the moon, or excuse me, for the sun.
Well, no, wait, isn't it the four turnings, the 80-year cycle?
Yeah, well, whatever it will. So we're from the astral perspective, it's
it's longer than that.
Yeah, it's 25,000 years or whatever the astral cycle is. And that's, you go from the boar, which is what dominated Egypt and all that, which was basically not the boar, excuse me, the ox, the male cow.
Yes.
And now,
the year of the ox, now we're in the year of the bull. Okay.
And then you see, the Vesica Pisces in the in religion now is, Mary with her arm open, but really, if you look at it, her cloak is the clitoris, and that's just her. That's what
I like how you just inserted a burp in there.
Just
really accentuates it.
Yeah.
Well, because really, if you think about it, all of this should be common knowledge now. What they're doing, like the Mithraic religion has completely taken over Catholicism. It's just totally normal, totally accepted, totally common knowledge, but no one really wants to talk about it.
No,
which is unfortunate.
Well, that's a lot of cosmic knowledge, dude. Like the average person can't really handle that every day.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what is it? Billionaires deal with astrology. That's what it is.
Sure. That's probably why I'm not rich.
Yep. None of us are rich.
Poor man. Yeah. You're richer than me, Jedilla.
I wouldn't call it that.
Anyway, I've reached.
Sorry, I'm eating peanuts.
No, so
I unmuted myself at an opportune time.
Yeah.
So,
I was ready to cut in, but not quite.
They, when Mao Zedong took over China,
Jesus. All right.
that was
Jesus
essentially
Christ.
the transition of power from the old Qing dynasty, QING, and it was passing it along to commodities and textile lords. And all they were doing was giving their ports over to religious figures and things like that. And then in 2038, like I was saying earlier, what was going on, what we're dealing with now here in the United States, how we're blocking all the ships, the same problems are going to happen in China between now and 2038. And what I find hilarious.
China's kind of running it, aren't they? Like they're setting the terms, aren't they?
Hold on. Wait. So what are you saying, Joe Della? Like the ports in China are going to start to seize up?
Between 2038 and 2040 is when the port contract, the 99-year port contracts in. So between 2038 and 99 years beforehand, it's because basically China's just ran by warlords, drug warlords that gave up the opium trade so they can take over China. There's big giant deals, bro. And that's why we've been having. So there's more semi trucks on the road now than in American history. But all of the fucking container ships are completely stuck off the ports. None of them can enter China. None of them can enter New Jersey, New York. None of them can enter Pakistan, and none of them can enter California. Like, why is that? What the fuck is going on? So
great reset, I imagine.
Yeah. Big money.
Big money getting lost.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, like I think it's like just like they're fixing the scheme more and more. Yeah, that's what I feel is going on.
Yeah.
The major players are arranging the deck more in their favor, and everyone else suffers underneath.
Yep.
I mean, as far as conspiracies go, that's my take on it.
So a conspiracy is just a group of more than two people plotting a plan. That's all.
Yeah, but I'm talking like Bilderberg. Like, I mean, this shit's been known for years, but now it's just like.
Well, it's just like Cernovich. There will always be, as he said, there will always be a World Economic Forum. which he's totally right. It's totally okay to have world trade. However, you don't let Prince Charles in Brussels control all of the container ships. That's a fucking no-no. Because as soon as a couple of them are hacked, you completely destabilize the global economy. And look what the fuck is going on now. Port contracts are up for renewal. Container ships have nowhere to port. It's a fucking mess. And I'm glad it's happening because it needed to fucking happen.
I'm kind of in agreement, man. Like we had to crash this shit before we were going to ever get to a better spot.
So since we nuked Japan, because what we did is we nuked the two most ancient religious places in Japan, which are the two most ancient Catholic areas of Japan. That's where the two areas that we nuked. And then shortly after, the emperor basically signed, or shortly beforehand, the emperor basically signed all of his military over to Germany. He's like, you know what? Take over our navy, take over our airplanes, do whatever you want. Because they were given because think of it from the perspective of a person who's dealt with global trade since before when Victoria died, all the brothers fucked up the world. So imagine if that wouldn't have happened, you would not have had the largest Jesuit family in Nagasaki, Japan, get the firstborn daughter of who is the sister of the brand new Japanese emperor of Japan, renounce all of her titles to marry a Jesuit. I mean, like, and then he's gone to all of the Sacred Heart colleges that they have, which are basically Rosicrucian, the Napoleon people, Egyptian pharaoh people. That's all it is, and now all we are witnessing over and over and over again is these fucking assholes fucking fight for ports, and all of us have to fucking deal with it. It's until 2040, bro. Like,
can either one of you say this name here?
Well, no. This is that bot from before, Lucius.
Oh, there was a bot. Was there a bot earlier?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have clicked on that. They're probably gonna hack.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh well.
You should probably block them, actually.
Okay, I'll do that later.
And just to hit what I was talking about just a second ago, if you've watched the Godfather movies, all the Godfather movies are about now that it's all based around Italian families, but you know that there was Mormons at the table, you know that there was more than just Italians at the table, and now we have to deal with all of their bullshit because Nancy Pelosi's dying. Feinstein is dying, Pope is dying, the King of Saudi Arabia is dying, Mohammed bin Salman just took over Al-Baziz once. I mean, it's literally Queen Elizabeth is dying, Philip just died, Charles just took over all of his property, which clearly isn't going well. Can you imagine like two popes? Because Benedict has to die. He's still fucking alive. So you have Queen, King, Pope, Hanseatic North Germans that are all tied to what's that fucking lady's name? Angela Merkel in Germany. The last remnants of the Nazis. It's a fucking joke. And literally, I hope America shoves a giant fucking destroyer up Krause's fucking ass. And
all right,
bro. Do you know how many people have lived and died who are waited for this fucking moment? For literally all of everybody to die.
Oh Jesus, I don't know.
Because remember, we're ran by old people.
Yeah,
they need to go. They need to go. Everyone's over 80. They all need to go.
I mean, this is kind of one of those things I've thought about myself. I am kind of remiss to carry on this conversation further, but I've thought about the whole boomer thing because I feel like boomers, as far as the generation goes, they're kind of the ones that were in control of the football and they fucked it all up. Yeah, in my opinion. I'm kind of I wonder if I was in their position, if I was born the same time era, could I have done any better? Like I know what I know now, but if I was in their shoes, could I have done any better? I'm like, I think we're fucking cursed, man. We're cursed by what we know, what we don't know, and we move forward because like I'm technically of like the millennial generation. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate that tag term. I fucking hate the thing. And yet, like I'm my friends, dude, like there's no one in real life I can have like an open, honest conversation with and not get lambasted for my own opinions for. Like that's just where I'm at, man. Like I don't know anybody. I feel like Luke, J Money, like a number of people, like I could just probably have an open conversation and we'd probably disagree and we'd probably run against like butt heads and all this other shit, but it wouldn't be the end of my career, it wouldn't be the end of anything I do or whatever. Like you wouldn't try to hunt me down and end me as I am. And yet there's a number of people like close friends or people I consider close friends that would. And I've seen a number of people who are open in this way. And like they're talking about like I have lifelong friendships I've lost because I did this. And I'm like, I read the room. Like when it was like 2015, 2016, Trump was like making moves, moving up the paradigm. And I thought it was funny as hell. And I'm like, oh, they must find it funny too. And I'd test them with like a little probing thing, and they'd be like, "This is kind of scary. This is kind of," and I'm like, "Oh, so you're those people?" And like, I just like it was like, there's no when. I'm not gonna like. I know where this is gonna go.
You gotta find better friends, don't you? If
like,
what you said is true,
in a way, dude. But it's like how like I mean I know enough people like where I would have these like. Dude,
well, I mean,
like,
you're in a particular area of America that is of a certain persuasion, which I will not reveal. But I think.
Thank you, Mike Wilson, for
Thanks,
that.
Max.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe you gotta try and find greener pastures.
I think so, but at the same time, I think like we just have to go through like J Money was talking about like I'm kind of happy that this shit's getting uprooted now, rather than to a point where it's like truly metastasized. But I don't know, like it's just like shit's so far gone.
Yeah,
in so many ways.
Too late. No, it should have been.
Like I don't think they're saving anything. Like I'm like I said, I'm watching a managed decline. Like, and that's where like I'm seeing everyone who's a major player. They're just playing off this managed decline of America. I'm like,
but
man,
America's
we
not
could
declining. America.
We could have had it made. And Fresher Luke, I know like you've been on our system. I don't want to treat you like an idiot or anything, but I'm like, but I feel like so many people from Australia and Europe, when they talk about America, it's like, do you know how fucking big America is? Do you know how fucking different? Yeah. Like if you dropped in from one state to another, like you're gonna get a whole different experience. Like this is Europe basically as one conglomerate.
Yeah,
essentially.
I know.
But a lot of people won't recognize it as that. And
no, I trust me, I recognize it as that.
Yeah,
and that's what I think is so amazing about it. At the same time, it's like
it can be a drawback too. Yeah. But I mean, I just fucking hate the fact that we could have been, if this COVID thing wasn't taken the way it was taken, we could be in a situation like where we're making out, I fucking
making out like bandits or what?
Yes, I mean, if the Biden administration didn't fuck things up with the pipeline, because that was like we were energy export, and now we're just fucking suffering, and at the same time, like
you know what this is?
What?
You know what this is? This is the fucking new Green Deal. That's what this fucking is. No. That's what this fucking shit is. They couldn't get it passed through fucking legislation, so they said, you know what? We're just gonna do it anyway. Fuck you all.
It annoys me, like the people who are all about like we need clean energy and all this shit. And it's like, do you have a fucking smartphone? Because if you do, you've already fucking failed. It's just like you don't live by any of the fucking things you want people to live by yourself. And it's like, do you understand what you're asking people to give up? Like to reach
solar panels are made by coal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everything that's supposed to be clean takes more energy to make. That makes it unclean in the end. Like all these Tesla batteries and shit. Like, do you know what happens when one of them ignites? is way worse than anything you would have had with petrol. Way worse. Like it's like
but that's what's going on with the whole
sorry about that,
supply
Mike Wilson.
chain. Yeah, sorry.
I have no investments to speak of, so I don't share your same pain, but I can understand. I was talking to people
invest more.
Yeah, I was talking to people I game with, and dude, like in 2019 when shit was starting to shut down, and they were talking about like losing tens of thousands of dollars. I was like, oh my god, that amount of pain has to be really bad. I didn't experience it because I had no investments to speak of, but fucking Christ, like I was just like, how are you even telling me this without like spurging out? Because I would just spurg out if it were me.
Nah.
There we go. Did great during Trump, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we all? Is this like what really changed?
So you're saying all this disparaging stuff, but the S&P 500 hit highest ever hit today. So the Standard & Poor's hit the highest it's ever hit.
Well, I think everyone's in agreement the markets aren't actually what they should be. So I mean it's great for people who make out. I'm not against anybody making out and whatever, but
yeah,
I think
make out with whoever you want to make out with.
Yes. The people in power, of course, like they have an advantage. I mean, if you're in a system, there's nothing stopping somebody from like, oh yeah, we'll commission you like as a government to do this project, and they can't just invest in it knowing hundreds of billions or whatever amount of money's gonna go into it, results or not, like money's to be made. I kind of hate that whole thing.
What, the stock market and charts?
No, I mean like the lobbying, the whole like the fact that like essentially they can be on the inside, and it's, I mean this is from, I mean it's gone back decades. I mean it was back in the Bush era, like Dick Cheney and them, like Halliburton, like all that bullshit where it's like, you know, you're gonna contract these people for billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars, like their stock's only going to go up. There's nothing stopping you, like in the system, from buying into that. As a knowing you talk to the lobbyists, knowing you make this deal, you're organizing Congress, you're making all these moves. There's nothing stopping you from making money. Like I bet you everyone in Congress probably invested in Pfizer before they made Pfizer the official vaccine like thing. Like everyone made money off of that bullshit, and they're looking at shutting down like crypto or trading crypto and all that bullshit because it's like
stop blockchain.
They can't, but they're trying.
No, you can't stop. You would have to stop computing. You can't. You know, you can. All you'll do is put it on the black market and make it more expensive. That's just a threat to get you to sell while they accumulate right now. That's all they're doing during low points. When you're excited, you should sell. When you're depressed, you should buy. It's a very simple concept. Anyone with basic investment knowledge, you know, should understand the emotional ebb and flow of trading, especially, you know, like you were saying, you know, because I lost about 30,000 this year, but I didn't like lose 30,000 because I never realized, you know, the growth in some of my coins. You get what I mean? So it's one thing to be like Elon Musk and recognize gains and sell and have the cash, you know, on hand in your bank account. But it's a whole nother thing in investments, I think. And that's, you know, when, you know, Steve Bannon and the other guy, I forget his name, Boris Epstein, they started the fuck Joe Biden coin, the FJB coin. and so it's things like that. You know, DWAC, Trump's acquisition firm is DWAC, DWAC. Democrats are whack. I think that's pretty funny. But like, So I feel bad for all the individuals who bought on the first 2 days of it coming on to the stock exchange, but don't be a fucking retard and then buy in and
Oh
sell
yeah,
off.
dude, that's one of my maybe because like I'm looking at getting crypto and like
Yeah. And I said
I'm
I'll help you
glad
and all that stuff.
I didn't like throw money before. Like I was looking at people who were into crypto and they're just like,
Yeah.
there's so many pitfalls, there's so many fucking scams,
Well, they're
there's so
not
many
pitfalls.
ways you can be taken.
No,
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
if
they're
you,
talking. This is more like NFT talk and everything. They're just like so many people are minting shit, and a lot of it can be just like a foolhardy investment. Don't fucking throw your money at stuff you don't know about.
Yes.
Research
Yeah,
it
yeah,
before you get
yeah.
in. And I'm like,
research.
you know what? That's good advice because I was like, I'm. There's a part of me that's like, to follow the market trends, you kind of have to be a dummy because that's where the money's going to flow. Is like where dummies are going to put their money into. Like if I had plenty of money to throw into like investing, like and just following like the trends people are saying on like live channels for Bitcoin and everything back in this whole year, like I could have made all sorts of money if I just had the money to spend on it, but I didn't. And it's just like I'm not about to throw all my money into it and lose if it's going to turn out to be wrong. But like if I had 50 grand, I could just blow. Sure, I'll throw it at it and just see where it goes. But I didn't have that. But now like I feel like a lot of the cryptocurrencies are sort of tied up. There are new ones on the market and everything. If I paid enough attention, I could have got in on like Sol is a major one now, but like it kind of started up this year. There's a number of NFTs that I could have gotten in on early on, but at the same time, it's like I didn't know what to believe. I didn't know what to follow, and it was something I wasn't comfortable with. And
No,
like
what you want is stable coins.
Well, yes, because I have a lot of stable coins. I agree, but like, I'll give you so some perspective to think about is the next Bitcoin halving and layer 2 being put on top of Ethereum. So they've figured out how to do the swaps on chain that don't have a large transaction fee. And so one of the things with Ether doing its, again, at the ebb and flow, was to make money off the individuals making the transactions on protocols and whatnot, because they were making fucking a killing on the transactions. And so even though Vitalik Buterin, I don't really believe in him because he's the one man who has the key to all the language for Ethereum. Granted, it goes through protocols and votes and so forth, but he still has the keys to the kingdom. One guy, the layer 2ing that will go on top of it will allow exchanges on an Ethereum protocol that have next to no fees, and so the layer 2 protocol will be implemented on top of the same, because you remember Ethereum and Bitcoin are completely different blockchains. They are going to implement around the same time. So if you know stock marks, if you know trading, if you know relative strength index, the RSI, if you understand what with the HVF, which is the Hunt Volatility Funnel, if you understand all of those, there's just a small grouping of things that you need to know, because you can take that to stock exchange, which is less volatile. So the crypto market has allowed people who would otherwise never in their life invested in standard stocks for Ford or Kia or a nuclear company. They're taking what they're learning from charting and applying that to the long-term macro level of charting, and they're making a shit ton of money. And I believe that's one of the reasons why the European Union and the rest of the world is shutting down traveling, because all of this is not able to be taxed. And on top of that, you're able to make transactions inside of the world of blockchain and have these transactions being done outside of banks, outside of the government, outside of the taxable eye of what these governments have done to people. So there's a paradigm shift happening. at the same time that everyone is dying. So put those together, bro. And then on top of that, all of the ship contracts in the next 20 years are being renewed. So imagine being someone like Prince Charles or Prince William, who your son or you yourself could become the next monarch of not only the people, but the provider of the services. So one of the things like Prince Charles and Queen Elizabeth and their whole British Empire have amongst their Commonwealth, which is Australia, New Zealand, and so forth, is viceroys, and those viceroys answer to the royal court, which is Prince Charles and Jacob Rothschild, which is the second seat, and the third seat is some woman whose name I forget off the top of my head. These people are supposed to be the next fucking kings of commodities and textiles. And they thought that they could go into the crypto world unabated, have no one fight them, have no rebuke. No one can come to them and say, what the fuck are you doing? Because they want the transaction through a fucking government phone of people trading rice with each other in the most obscure areas of China. They want they want a percentage of that transaction. They want it in Africa, and that's why China is flooding African nations with British money, because HSBC is the Hong Kong Shanghai Bank. And all of why are all of our capacitors and computer components made in Hong Kong? It's very simple. All this is simple. And all that we're witnessing right now is because back in the day, in the 1800s, they could fucking put people in concentration camps and just wipe you out and take all your property, pull your gold teeth out your mouth. Now they can't do that no more.
I think in their own way they can. Like you can get canceled, man.
They are. They totally are. But you get my point. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't send Americans and Germans and French and all of us to fight in fucking stupid
They'll find a way, man. Like now it's about demonizing you first and then taking away everything you got. Like, and it's so simple. Like it fucking, it kind of breaks my heart, man. Like how easy it is to destroy somebody now.
Imagine being bro, take pride in being a part of a shift in global. Because you remember right after Victoria died, because Queen Elizabeth's son is the fucking king of the Netherlands. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello. So, and then the duchy, the monarchy that controls Denmark also is Greece. You get what I mean? So,
cool.
Greece and Denmark are the same monarchy.
Sounds great. On that note, I gotta go.
You do? Damn it,
yes.
Luke.
Sorry, I talked too much.
Hold on now. One of the things I wanted to kind of touch upon for all of us, if you gotta go, let me know. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Do you have anything you're looking forward to besides
launching Forsaken Gods 2?
Yeah. Well, yes. Go ahead.
Will you have book 1 on the second campaign?
Forsaken Gods 2, man. Like, dude, Luke keeps teasing me with this shit, man. Like, I'm a mark at this point. Like, I can't hide it. I liked his first book, and
I gave you a preview of the campaign page.
Yes, you did, and
Mark Pellegrini are the only ones that have seen it.
And the trailer. I seen the trailer, and I'm just like, oh man, like the fresher Luke stock. Like if you had stock, dude, I would invest totally.
If I had stock, it'd be like worth 1 cent.
Well, I'd buy in. I'd buy in completely. Like I'm telling you guys, I think the first book was great. I'm looking forward to the second book, and I hope you keep with it, regardless of whatever happens. I do think, dude, I think your trailer's money. I think this second campaign is going to be better than the first, and for you, my hope is that you have a battle plan in place. Like you're going to hit channels around, and you're gonna do the rotations.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll say it on here because obviously,
go
there's
ahead.
only one person viewing. So my plan is that I'm gonna launch it February 1st, and I'm gonna premiere it on Shea the Reds channel.
Oh,
and then from there, I'm gonna try and get on as many shows as I can, same as last time. I appreciate you saying it's going to be better than the last campaign. I've tried to make it better than the last campaign. Because
I think everyone, if you've had a successful campaign that you fulfilled, then like it's only going to build up off of that. I was going to try to talk you in because it's like you're looking at February.
Yeah.
And it's 2022. I was like, man, you should play around with like the dates. Like, do you do February 2nd?
No,
February 20th,
February 1st.
22,
No,
February 22nd, 2022. Like, I'm
no,
just like,
the reason I do it,
shit.
the reason I'm doing it on February 20th, on February 1st is that
First,
it's easier for me to keep track of sort of the campaign timeline, so to say.
Okay.
Always, well, you know, and if it wasn't February 1st, it'd probably be March 1st. So.
Well, and you kind of get like extra like you go like they do 30-day campaigns, so you go into March and then you go into April extending it.
Yeah.
So you'll
get
like
the thing is, I think me and Nawal, we're going to try and launch our campaigns at the same time, like a joint launch. So I'm going to find out more around January 2nd. I got to get in contact with Shea and we'll see how it all goes.
Okay. So Narwhal's going to do something too that you've heard about then.
No, I mean I know it. He's launching Nosferatu.
Okay. All right. Well, I think you should like build up the animosity, like make it kind of event style.
Build up the animosity?
I know it seems
what?
Yes, I know it seems counteractive, but I think it would build up
between who?
You and Narwhal.
Why?
Like his campaigns, because you're in the same time frame, man. You're fighting for money, man. Like you gotta get in there.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
But
come on, I feel like here I am, Mickey, in your corner, and I'm telling you to chase a
and you're
giving
me bad advice.
Why am I chasing chicken? It's like you don't understand. All right, like
I've been chasing that chicken all my life, motherfucker. Still haven't caught it.
Well, I'm telling you, dude. Like it'll build you both up if you do. I feel like
I disagree, and I think it's
it's friendly rivalry.
No,
like you don't make it personal.
He's helped me out immensely, and
yeah. And now
I'm not
you're gonna
doing
be
play
like,
fighting. It's stupid. We're adults. Yes. We are adults.
It's a sparring match, man. It's not. Just look at it like you got equal skills.
Because he's done a campaign. He's done a trailer for Nosferatu.
What if we?
And you know what? It's right. I think it rivals the Forsaken Gods trailer a little bit.
What if we do like a simple 3-page art or graphic novel illustration contest?
I think that's terrible.
Where the two of you face off. You have like the same simple instructions.
I think this is terrible.
Execute it.
This is a terrible idea.
You know, terrible. like
I'm just trying to look. I'm just trying to launch a campaign and make some money.
Okay,
that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to create a cult. I'm not trying to like.
You should totally create a cult. That'd be
I'm not.
That'd be awesome.
Do that,
dude. If I could create a cult, that'd be all about it. Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to control people. I'm not trying to manipulate people. I'm just like, here's products. You want the products? It's cool shit. You'll enjoy it. And you can give me money.
Look how upstanding Fresher Luke is. Here I am. I'm the devil on the shoulder, trying to convince him. Trying to tell him.
All right, I gotta go. I really.
Well. Thank you for being on, Luke. So
thank you.
So
thank you, J Dollar.
Forsaken Gods 2.
Yeah.
In 2022, look out for it.
I hope everyone has a great New Year's, including you, J Dollar.
Yeah. And, absolutely, man.
Sure.
Thanks for being on for the show, man.
And I just want to congratulate J Dollar for talking for 10 minutes straight. It was fantastic. Usually I take like a break, like 2 minutes in, but he just went for it.
You were so mesmerized. It was so good.
That was commendable.
It's so good. Yeah.
All right. Stay fresh, everyone.
Stay fresh. See you later, Luke.
Stay black.
J Dalla,
Think-
J
you think
Money.
I run 'em off
Do you
with
have
my,
any? Do you have any New Year's resolutions, man? Do you have anything you're looking to do in 2022, man? And this sort of like I feel like we're entering into like first stages of post-apocalyptic kind of stage, like
I think
like
you listen to too much propaganda.
no. Like I feel like we're kind of watching the world as we know it crumble in a way.
No.
Like maybe it rebuilds itself up better. I don't know.
We're watching
I don't
new
know.
people take over power. Come on now. That's all.
But is there anything in 2022 you have as a resolution? Is there anything you're looking forward to or whatever? Oh shit. My
What was that?
that was my my PlayStation YouTube reacting to me jostling the controller. It was gonna play some music, but I stopped it early on. So is there anything 2022 you're looking forward to? Anything as a goal for you for 2022? New
Not
Year's
really.
resolution? No?
Are you a resolutionist?
Not honestly, no, but at the same time, man, like the thing about a New Year's resolution is you have a fresh calendar start, right? You have January 1st, and it's like a time span wherein a lot of things that are like not Rome was built in a day sort of thing. So if you're doing weight loss, if you're doing like investment or debt dealing or whatever, like you can kind of like set yourself goals that you can accomplish, so far as like you're in the realm of reality, like you're not going outside, that what you can reach. But at the same time, like if you had to drop 50 pounds by the end of the year, you could totally do it.
I drop
And you
50
have a
pounds, I
start
might
point
die.
and an end point. Just fucking do it. Whatever you're looking to do, right? Like it's at least a solid start point, end point. I quit my job in October, and
Nice.
I'll be looking at shopping around for just like money income for a job coming this next year. Like I wanted to give myself the holidays off because like I just didn't want the extra stress. I didn't want the extra thing, and yet like I feel like the job market on the whole is open. If I need money, I can get money. But yeah, I'd rather move up than move laterally. Like just find myself in the same thing, kind of thing, or whatever. I'd rather do like drawing jobs and everything like that. I'm hoping that'll be on the next cash grab comic, and that'll be a launch point where like this is all I do. Like I just do comic book work and that's all I do. But it's way more tenuous, man. Like as far as like I have to provide my own insurance, I have to do all this other stuff. Like there's all sorts of things to it.
Why do you need insurance?
Huh?
Why do you need insurance?
For most things, I kind of, there's the auto insurance is kind of like a commitment, but as far as health insurance goes, dude, I'm telling you, man, like it's kind of the thing that haunts me. It's just like when I didn't need it, it was always there, and when I did need it, it wasn't there, and it's just one of those things where I'm just like, man, watch something fuck me over, and really leave me stranded. But yeah, hopefully, I'm just hoping I transition over to like this is all I do. Like I would rather promote people who I think are true talents. Mike Wilson Art, and I'm actually going to bring him up his.
Are you in your
Twitter
20s
thing
or
here.
30s? 20s or 30s?
I'm in my 30s.
Oh, okay.
30s, yeah. I do want to before I close out, before I forget, I'm under the influence, man. So
Me too. It's the best thing to be.
So Mike Wilson, this is, and I wish Fresher Luke were still here, but this guy always taps out early. He taps out early, even though he's time zones behind me.
So long last weekend, and then I come on, I talk about his queen, and he leaves us.
Mm-hmm.
How rude!
The thing is, Fresher Luke is a great talent, so I and he gives up his time to me, so I don't want to denigrate him too much. But this is a Mike Wilson art piece right here. And let's see. There's another one that he did with a Santa theme, and let's see. I want to make sure it's his art, and I know it's his art. I see a number of these graveyard shift things. Here we go. I mean, he's a solid talent, and I feel like he's unknown because he doesn't. He's not really
like that.
Whoa! I've kind of shown up. I did Cecil shit for so long, and that was my thing. And I mean, he's just like, he's a true talent. Like, I feel like if you like reach out to him and ask him to do whatever, he could do it. Like, he's not short on being able to do it. This is one of the ones that got a lot of 224 hearts on this fucker. Cyber Frog piece that he did. Like he's just not regular enough where he doesn't make himself known enough. Like, I'm not even like chat necessarily. I feel like that's sort of where most people start, is in chat, and they get to know other people. Like it's kind of like networking is a thing. I mean, it's always a thing. I know it sounds stupid, but like it's just like, this guy is phenomenal talent. Like, I mean, you look at this, and like, what couldn't he do? Like, if you look at this, like in reality, like, you might have doubts about maybe his ability to do color, but I mean, if you ask him to do a drawing, like, what couldn't he do? Looking at this, and it really comes down to like how many people know him, how many people would recognize him. I mean, it's as far as somebody who is trying to do art and everything, like, there is a point to which it's like name recognition and how people value that. That's kind of like the main thing. I see plenty of like art on Twitter that I really, really respect that doesn't get enough love, and then there's other art that gets a ton of respect that I'm just like, dude, I could do that like without even trying, and yet it has 25,000 likes. I mean, like, it makes the rounds, and it's just like, it's just only because the name's attached to it, and you realize that's the main thing. Make yourself known. And there's a part of me that wishes, like, oh man, if I only, like, back when Twitter started and I thought it was such a piece of shit, I was like, who would ever get into this? Why would they ever do it? If I just started then and I just like put out art consistently, who knows where it could be now? Like, that's kind of the thing. You have to, you just have to start investing in your own ability, essentially. I think that's what it is. And Mike Wilson Art says, Happy New Year's, guys. Happy New Year's to you as well, Mike Wilson Art.
Yeah, man.
I do feel like he could carry on stuff, but yeah. Yeah, I feel like not having worked a job, like, I do feel like I have put on pounds, man. Like, dude, I lost weight and then I put it all back on.
Huh? Eating a lot? Are you eating a lot?
No, really. I'm just not doing anything, man. Like, I used to work a job where I was on my feet the whole fucking day, and you know, I'm like taking in like I like to say freight, but I'll just say shipments, man. Like just what that day's thing is, and it's not that much. But you're talking about like you moving back to your warehouse. You take the boxes in, you open up, throw them out into your compactor, your trash bin or whatever. I think it's work that I don't do anymore, and I'm just like, I'm not like indulging myself, but it's like I don't have the activity I used to have. I'm like, fuck, man, like. It's adding up at this point. And I don't miss, like, the things I really don't miss is the public interaction, man. Like dealing with just people on the regular. Dude, like, it's just been awful.
To get away from that shit.
It's been awful. Dude, it's been even worse since the whole shutdown.
Do you miss it? You miss it?
No, not really. Especially holiday season. Like, people expect miracles. Like, I think people, I was able to throw the whole COVID pipeline excuse at people, and they were usually like, "Oh yeah, okay," but that was usual. That was typical, no matter what. People like understanding like things could always go wrong, but then there comes like the point of like the end point on it. Like let's say you did something for somebody and you just said, listen, 2 weeks is best prognosis for your completion, but it might be 3, it might be 4, and especially for what you're asking for, it might be 4. And yet they'll call a week later asking you like, where is it? And like and then saying as if you promised them it would be that, right? And it's like I never inclinated that. And if you worked in something well enough where it's just like the stipulations of your business, the timelines, everything that could go wrong, and in fact your coworkers, and somebody tells you, well, they said it would be done by this date or this time or whatever, and you're just like, that's such bullshit. There's no way anybody promised you that service, that timeline, this whatever. And yet at the same time you have to like deal with them, keep their business or try to keep their business or whatever. Dude, it just gets to the point where you're just like, oh, fuck these people, like fuck these, like people get what they deserve. They get what they deserve. That's kind of where I fell at. Like, you get what you deserve. Like, this is what you and every other motherfucker who walked through these doors has created. And I try to do my best, but that's that. I'm out of that right now, so I'm pretty content. Like, I've never been this relaxed, I think, in a decade, as far as like where my mental state is.
Yeah.
But I prefer not to deal with them. Like, dude, like it's crazy. Like the whole Karen thing, like, dude, that's existed so far before. Like the shit that people would try to put you on the hook for, and you're just like, how the fuck is that my problem? This is you brought this shit to me like this. Like, how the fuck is this my problem all of a sudden? um it's crazy, man.
I mean, I have fun, to be honest with you.
That's good, man. That's where you want to be. You want to be in a spot where you're having fun, you enjoy what you're doing. If you make money at it, even better. So do you have any 2022 resolutions, goals?
No, I think they're all dumb. I think
No?
you should not do what do not conform. I had said this earlier when I was talking to Narwhal, because he was finding out that simple carbs is the way to go. And I said to him, I was like, throughout human history, us being hunter-gatherers, we just collected nuts and berries throughout the day. The 3-course meal is not human nature. The 3-course meal is just something that they started recently. So that's kind of how I look at it. Like, I'd rather study the way we used to be than to deal with the nonsense that new. So it's like every time I talk to you or I speak with, because I have a social group. It's me, my buddy Aaron, who lives in Portugal.
Okay.
And then I have my buddy Colin, who lives in Canada, and they both live under a commonwealth essentially. And in our lives as Americans, we're totally fine. Nothing's changed other than we don't go outside as often. And you got to realize the insanity and the stupid people are the ones who spit on you in the airlines. So, during all of this, it's been a battle trying to get them not to repeat nonsensical dribble. And so what's actually happened is my buddy Aaron, who was born in America, who is South Korean, who lives in Portugal, who works in he's a musician, so he worked in the orchestra. All the orchestras are closed. And so that's what you have. His family's falling apart. His wife has left him. They took the kids. Like, this guy has lost his fucking mind. You know,
that's kind of the crazy. Like, as much as I'm like, man, my life kind of sucks or whatever. Like, I read these stories and I'm just like, fuck, that's sad. Like, you're talking about people who've like triumphantly lived, like past even where I've lived. Like, they're in their 40s, their 50s, or whatever, and then it's just like they just reached the end of their career, but there's nothing else they transition to, or they can transition to, or that works for them, and they just like they die. Like they literally die, like they poison themselves, or like they just can't cope or whatever. Like military people, like when they get out of the military and like they have to make something in this world, it's just like you just had a bunch of people come up and salute you, give reverence to you, follow your orders, and now you're dealing with people who no idea who you are, and they'll never give you that same respect or anything, and like it just kills them, and then they kill themselves, like in either a slow or fast way or whatever. It's crazy to read these stories about people who are just like, man, I would love I would love to have those starting circumstances from what I'm looking at now, and yet like you just realize like they just could not transition, they couldn't make that jump. It's crazy to see that go on, where like it all falls apart, and like you're talking about this dude, like it, oh my god, I would be losing my mind if that happened, man. Like your wife leaves you, your family starts turning on you, all this shit. Like, oh my god, like breaks your heart.
And then, but to be the you know, it's because I was talking about this shit earlier, which, like I was saying, it should be common knowledge. But you have people, you have women, like, you know, imagine trying to tell your wife after you've worked in the orchestra your whole life that the reason why everything is falling apart is because of fucking the Queen, King Felipe, this the fifth, sixth, or seventh, whatever it is, of Spain, and then you got the Brussels king, and then you got the Nether. Like, everybody is falling apart. Everybody's falling apart. And then your wife's like, you're fucking crazy, but like you're trying, you know, because I feel for Aaron because he lives in Portugal. He's South Korean. He has a wife from the Mediterranean, basically, and he can't keep it together. So so I live in a rural area. I couldn't imagine living in Virginia Beach while all of this nonsense was going down. That would have been insane. That would have been insane.
Right. All right. Well, I'm at the 2.5 hour mark. Is there anything like on this stream you want to leave out, like for as a closing thing for 2021? Anything you want to put out there, or no?
Say it again.
Well, I'm looking at heading out the stream, and I kind of thought of it as like a year review. Like, I not necessarily, because at the front end we weren't, but it was something I told Luke. I'm like, that's the last stream I have on plan for this year. And so I was looking at year in review. I don't know enough about the Indiegogo campaigns and stuff to really dive into it.
Right.
I know what I've gotten, but I at the same time, dude, I haven't backed every campaign out there. I can't do like a full review of everything that's been fulfilled, not fulfilled, all that.
Right.
But I mean, like, as far as prospects,
so you were asking about
guidelines.
2022, right? You're asking about 2022.
Yeah, like what do you
Right.
have on your horizon there? Like, what are you looking at?
Well, so I don't look at it like that. Let's look at it like as to help someone else. So, you know, I've met a couple of the artists through CG and YouTube and Twitter. And Dan Frega is an individual who his mentality, his goodwill nature has has led me to think about books that I read while growing up. And Dan brought up a book that I had never read, and I still haven't read, but I purchased.
Mhm.
So for 2022, along with because I study the people who control all of the trade of the world.
Uh-huh.
That's what I study. But anyway, he suggested this book to me, The War of Art.
Mhm.
He didn't suggest it to me. He suggested it overall
Yeah, I remember
by
him putting this out there. Yeah.
Stefan Pressfield. It's not The Art of War, but it's The War of Art.
Uh-huh.
And since we're thin book, you can maybe read it in a month if you're that type of reader or less. I don't read
Probably
books
read
like
it in
that.
a day if you want. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I could read this in a day. I
Yeah.
could totally do that, but that's not at all how I read. It's not how I digest.
I don't know if somebody.
So,
Yeah.
for all y'all people, artists 2022. If
War of
you are in spots where you are basically having a conundrum, you don't know what to do, you have drawn a blank. I looked at a few words of this book: break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles.
Hmm.
And I bought it new for like $15.
Yeah, it sounds
And,
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I spent $50 on this. Look at this. It's
Mhm.
very thin. And the hardcover is like $160 fucking dollars. And most of this book is just footnotes. Like look at the footnotes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, bro. And there's already 2 books that I've added to my Amazon wish list. But anyway, warriorism and cultism and clanism runs the world. Also, if you have a writer's block,
There's this
that's
book.
all.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for showing up on the show, man. I'm glad to see you again. We missed you last week. And glad you had a good holidays and all that shit. I understand you're in a struggle here.
I was like folding the pages. That's what I was trying to. Anyway, failure.
No, I feel your pain, man. You just pay $50 for a book. You don't want to fuck it up. You just put it back.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They messed it up. Can you see?
Oh, you already did.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. They sent it to me like this. Amazon.
Dude, you can
shit out of books.
You can chew them out a little bit and get some money back or something, man.
I gave a 1-star review. They
might be in touch soon.
See how they reply.
Yeah.
This book argues that the Indo-Europeanizing of Europe essentially began shortly before 1600 BCE, when lands rich in natural resources were taken over by military forces from the Eurasian steppe and from the southern Caucasia. First were the copper and silver mines, along with good harbors in Greece, and the copper and gold mines of the Carpathian Basin. By circa 1500 BCE, other military men had taken over the amber coasts of Scandinavia and the metalworking districts of southern Alps. These military takeovers offer the most likely explanations of the origins of the Greek, Celtic, Germanic, and Italian subgroups of the Indo-European language family. Battle warfare and militarism, Richard Drew contends, were novelties circa 1600 BCE and were consequence of the military employment of chariots. Current opinion is that the militarism and battlefield warfare are as old as the formal states, going back before 3000 BCE. Another current opinion is the Indo-Europeanizing of Europe happened long before 1600 BCE, and the Kurgan theory of the Marja Gimbutas and David Anthony dates it from the late 5th to early in the 3rd millennium BCE, and explains as a result of the horse riding conquerors or raiders coming from Europe from the steppe. Colin Renfrew, which I own this book by Colin Renfrew. This is $150 something book. There is no way I was passing that book up. Colin Renfrew, Archaeology and Language, which is not that. Dates to the Indo-Europeanizing of Europe on the 7th and 6th millennia BCE and explains it is a consequence of the spread of agriculture and a wave of advance from Anatolia through Europe. Bearing linguistic and archaeological evidence, Drew concludes that in Greece and Italy, at least, no Indo-European language could have arrived before the 2nd millennium BCE. Totally true. Totally fucking true.
There we go.
Yeah. It's going to be a good book.
Well, this is your boy Lucius, wishing you all a happy new year, a happy 2022. I mean, I hope it looks up from here. You know, I feel like we could do better. Like, I don't know why we signed up for this shit this year. We didn't have to, but we did. But yeah, I'm hoping for a better 2022. But in all likelihood, this administration is probably gonna be on a downgrade. Hopefully, we get up on an upgrade soon. But I would say if I had to try to point you all towards anything, and I would say this to myself too, look into crypto. It is definitely a wave of the future, and it's evolving so fucking fast. That's the thing that like I'm being lost on. Like shit that was hot like half a year ago is like getting old. It's so crazy how fast it's getting. It's evolving. And I'm very hesitant to get into NFTs and crypto gaming even is like something that's on the horizon, man. Like where like dude, I've put years into this fucking. There's a game called Marvel Contest of Champions. It's just been like my pastime to just like pass away like fucking free time. Like you're waiting at a restaurant, you commuting, you're doing whatever, you just like passing the free time. This game is just like a mobile game where you just like do like these short fights and shit, and like you know you level up, you do all this shit, and yet at the same time there were people like they're advanced, and it's just like you could buy their account, quote unquote. You could buy their account. There's no guarantee that you're going to get what you pay for or anything like that. And yet crypto kind of could promise you that, like where you just basically buy their shit off of them for whatever their going price is, and you could go in at the game with that. Like you don't have to invest all your time because like to get an account like mine, if you just jumped into the game, would be crazy. Like it would take a crazy amount of investment. It's way easier than it used to be, but like if you just flat out paid me, let's say $500 from my account, it's a total win. Like the amount of time and everything I put into it, effort I put into it, like you'd come out ahead. And then maybe I'd be okay with that. Like, okay, I get $500 and I can spend that on something else because I'm no longer invested in the game. That's where crypto can take you. But right now, the stakes of the game, they wouldn't let you do that. Or if you got away with it, it could always be canceled, and that's kind of like the fail point of it all. So I don't know, like it's crazy where the world is taking us and what's coming up. And even me and Luke were talking about NFT shit before the show started in terms of like campaigns and stuff, digital offerings that you could give to your campaigns and stuff, what that might mean. Because you know, a number of artists worry about like their shit getting copied and stuff. I'm like, dude, why don't you just make an NFT, an official version of your shit, digital, where it's just like you have like a prestige attached to your work, and that will always carry through for the people that buy your shit, where they can feel like okay, like I'd always you can resell digital assets. That's a new point that I think is totally usable towards the end of the NFT kind of thing. And I think it's way cheaper than it used to be to get into, and that's where kind of the market is always changing. It's so crazy. Like this market's so crazy. Like where people like a year ago would have put their money and like where they'll put it now. Like it's crazy to think about. So look into it. That would be that's definitely one of the things I want to do. Because I do think it's the future landscape of everything. Digital. And yeah, you know, the usual shit. Like, always look to better yourself as best you can. And hopefully we have a great 2022. And I would support Fresher Luke on his Forsaken Gods 2 campaign. He's saying February next year. I've seen his trailer. I bought his first book. It's worth checking out. I think Luke will see a great stock market jump in himself this next year. And J Money, any projects you have coming up, channels or anything else you're doing that you want to promote right now, right here?
Hopefully I'll start streaming again.
Yeah, you should. Are you banned, or are you just like you're not into it, man?
Well, no. So,
it's crazy because the one stream you did do, and I showed up to, like, dude, you had viewers out the ass, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? This guy is just like out of nowhere streaming. You never streamed again, I think, since then, as far as I know.
Have. Well, I've been guests. I've been guests.
And I'm just like, man, like, what a, like, I know you get around, man. You do your stuff. Like, you're a networker. You're a wheeler dealer type. What about this next year, man? You got any major moves ready for yourself?
Hopefully, I will put out concept art for my old gods.
Old gods, all right.
Yeah.
And I can believe that. Like, you're into this. Like just from that last book, man. Like, that would like put me to snooze, but you're into it. Man.
How? I don't understand how that would make anyone snooze.
You're talking about 1600s in Europe. I'm just like, Europe wasn't where it was at, man. New World is where it's at, man. You talking 1600s?
No, 1600 like, BCE.
Oh, BCE. Okay.
Yes,
all
BCE.
Right.
So right. That's 6,000 years ago.
All right. I thought we were talking. I was just like, really? Like, okay. All right. Now I kind of feel kind of dumb saying all that, but like I missed that, and then it's just like I honed in on 1600. But yeah, that would definitely be interesting. Like I am interested in the old world moves, like those like setting up civilization. What made it? What then? Like even I watched the HBO series Rome, and just like seeing like Rome with Egypt, you know, Cleopatra and shit. I was like, man, that's like the transition. Like Egypt was the old civilization moving to Rome, like and like how much power they still had but didn't have. Like I don't know, like if somebody actually like really played up that dynamic all the way and did their research, that'd be crazy to watch. Like what was going on then.
Right.
It was a good series though. A interesting series to watch. They rushed the end of it just because they were like the countdown clock was on for them, but good series overall. Anyways, I'm gonna cut it off here. Thank you, J Money. Thank you, Fresher Luke, who's already skipped out. I don't know why that guy needs to go to bed so early, but thank you everybody for showing up. And end of the show here. And maybe I get drunk enough that I do another stream before the year ends. But this is the only one I planned on. So take care. Hope to see y'all next week again, Wednesday at 9 p.m. EST. Later.